We are starting you off at 33 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge, which, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is appropriate cold. Right here, this is appropriate, seasonably appropriate cold. If I wasn't all congested, if I wasn't feeling like just absolute dookie, this would be the way it's supposed to feel outside.
I love the weather.
That's right now. Now, 2 degrees colder, clock me out. Send me home. Put me under like all the comforters.
And the heated blankets. I have a big heated blanket on my bed.
But like this, it is February. It is supposed to be cold. Right. We're supposed to be pushing freezing. Last week, forget that stuff. Well, forget that. And I wore a jacket and a polo today. So the jacket's upstairs, right? I don't need it inside, but like it's seasonably appropriate cold. I'll take it. Hey, we got a busy show for you this morning. The governor's coming on. Jeff Landry, 7:15. We've got Senator Cassidy coming on. He's up at 8:15. Haggai Davis is later this hour. Let's jump right in. Top stories and trending. The next generation of U.S. defense will run through Louisiana. Possibly overlooked in all the festivities of Washington Mardi Gras was an announcement out of D.C. where LSU and U.S. Army Cyber Command have entered into a formal agreement on advanced research, prototype development, education and training, and technology transfer to build cyber capabilities for the Army under the U.S. Cyber Command. This was the announcement that I've been teasing since I was up there. The Louisiana Department of Health expanded a benefits program that aims to incentivize buying fresh produce to East Baton Rouge Parish Walmart stores. The Louisiana Carrot Initiative provides SNAP recipients with a 30-cent bonus for every dollar spent on fresh produce at participating retailers. Participants can earn up to $25 in bonus benefits every month.
Why a carrot? A carrot incentive?
It's the Louisiana Carrot Incentive. I don't know. East Feliciana Parish School System will be moving to a 4-day school week starting during the 2026 to 27 school year. The school board said this in a news release yesterday. The new schedule will include extended class days from Tuesday through Friday, which they say will allow students to have more time to focus on high-quality instruction. President Donald Trump has endorsed Blake Miguez in the 5th congressional district race. This nod comes just a few days after Miguez bowed out of the Senate race, where he opted to move over to the race for the 5th. Saw this one on WBRZ, and this is one we might need to get into with Rodney Mallett at some point. Commuters across Baton Rouge are raising concerns about long stretches of unlit interstate, saying the darkness is more than an inconvenience, it's a safety hazard. Several drivers contacted our news partners at WBRZ after noticing that many streetlights along I-110 and surrounding interstates are out, particularly during early morning and late afternoon hours. One commuter said the problem stood out while driving from Main Street on 110 South toward the College Drive exit around 4:40 a.m. I'll add to that, every place where the construction was is lacking now. I mean, if you're on 12 westbound, when you get to the part where they start to maneuver, where the construction started and you're maneuvering, that is darker. If you're on 10 eastbound on that 10-12 split, it's darker there. But also over by the University Lakes, it's darker there as well.
Is it dark there?
It's very dark by the University Lakes. But that's all area that's under construction. But like that's big construction. It's going to take a long time.
Right.
I don't know if there's like a middle ground there. I'll reach out to Rodney. He always responds.
All right, President Trump is expected to attend the National Prayer Breakfast at the Washington Hilton. You were just there.
That's exactly where we just were. So the same place where Washington Mardi Gras was. I wonder where at the Washington Hilton the prayer breakfast is.
Do they have like a big?
Oh, they've got multiple.
Huge room, ballroom.
Yeah, they've got multiple huge ballrooms though. So I don't know. If you know where the prayer breakfast is, post it up on our Facebook Live feed. We're live on Facebook every single day. I'm curious if it's in the same room where Louisiana Live runs or where the big ball is on Saturday night. lay of the land. Just curious.
Today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings made an emotional plea for the return of their mother, Nancy Guthrie.
That was emotional. It was gut-wrenching.
Was emotional.
Yeah. I heard it during the Fox News rundown back in the 4 o'clock hour. Heard it again during America in the Morning last hour. God.
Well,
She want proof that she's alive.
I know. So do you want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit about what people are saying on social media?
About the hoax?
No.
Oh,
look, it's not too far-fetched, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just going to kind of lay it out there for what it is.
Okay.
So hear me out. Savannah's husband is a Feldman. He worked in the Clintons, in the office with the Clintons for 8 years that they were in office. He started a company called Grover Park. And what the company was a scrubber to get rid of things off the internet. Basically, something comes out, you cannot find it on the internet. That's what they were. So that's what the internet's saying. And now the Clintons are going in front of Congress with the whole Epstein. I don't know.
So this is misdirection for that?
I guess. But it's not the first. It was all over my TikTok. Google it. Go to Reddit. That's what people are talking about. That Savannah's husband being the Feldman. I know. You know how people are on the internet, Brian.
Look, and I love nothing more than the Clinton body count conspiracies. And those are, but like,
yeah.
Conspiracy theories are meant to be fun.
Right.
Like, we're still in the thick of this being very, very real.
Right.
You know?
So for people to go down the rabbit hole and say, could this be a silencing tactic? I'm like, this is a fresh, raw story.
For who, though?
That's what I'm wondering.
It's not going to stop Congress from grilling the Clintons, and it's not going to stop whether or not the Clintons show up on Capitol Hill to talk about Epstein.
Right. I know. The internet gets wild.
Yeah.
Okay. Kamala Harris, her former campaign social media platforms, Kamala HQ, are teasing an announcement for later today on their platforms.
Oh, fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Boy, I'm thrilled.
Well,
don't let the congestion fool you. This is genuine excitement. Am I not selling it? It's not selling?
No, it's not selling, Brian.
Over here?
Well, I was wondering, because I never heard of this platform at all. Maybe I was living under a rock. Kamala HQ.
I thought that's what she just called all of her individual, like her Instagram or Twitter, her like all of it.
Who knows?
All of it was Kamala HQ.
So now this, I don't know, the social media account that's coming out again, she's saying she won't have any editorial. The people just speak what they are. So it's basically another Truth Social. How Trump has Truth Social.
She's launching her own social media.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's how I'm reading it. Yes, with a new purpose, focus on online organizing and engagement rather than just rapid response campaigning. So I'm taking that as how Trump has Truth Social.
Okay.
This is Kamala's.
Oh.
I guess we're going to find out more when that announcement comes out.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I guess I will be on the lookout for that stupid announcement. Whatever. 613 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP. LSU women's basketball's got a big game tonight. We'll talk about that in just a minute. Do need to remind you about the folks at the Baton Rouge Metro Airport. FlyBTR.com is the website. FlyBTR.com. Before you make your travel plans, please check out the Baton Rouge Metro Airport's website. Please do a little side-by-side comparison and evaluate the overall experience. Give both of them a look. If you are flying to D.C., there's a direct flight from Baton Rouge to Reagan National. Put you right in the thick of it, Reagan National. Don't look at flights that might land in Baltimore or Dulles. That's way the heck out there. Way the heck out there. Reagan National's right in the heart of it. Just takes you one quick hop over the river and you're in D.C. Also, not just D.C., there are fantastic flight options to a number of different locations. You can find them all at flybtr.com.
Galen, yeah, you're right. I'm trying to read up on this story. I mean, this is an article from CNN, so take it for what it's worth. But it's saying that she did reboot the Kamala HQ account, and you're right, it is X, and she has followers on Twitter. I mean, I'm sorry, on TikTok, but she's making it a whole new ordeal. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like Truth Social, but obviously not Truth Social, but this like platform where you can go in and comment on posts, etc.
Can the Tigers beat the Longhorns again? 617 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP. There is a huge, we're talking huge matchup tonight right here on Talk 1073 FM. Fifth ranked LSU visits fourth ranked Texas. Rematch of the game that was played at the PMAC back on January 11th. LSU took that one 70-65. Going to be a lot harder to do it in their house than ours, though. Longhorns, they're locked down on defense. They allow 55 points per game on average. Our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network spoke with Corey Diaz, who covers LSU hoops for USA Today Network. Diaz says handling Texas's pressure will be a key for LSU tonight.
I can tell you right now, from the tip of this game, they are going to full court press, especially coming off the loss to them a few weeks ago. They want that get back. They're going to press LSU the majority of this game.
Well, yeah, and both teams will run man-to-man all night long as far as on the defensive side of the ball is concerned. Diaz also expects Texas coach Vic Schaefer to instruct his team to get the ball to 6'6" Kenner, Kyla Oldacare.
If I know anything about Vic Schaefer, he's going to want the ball inside early and as often as possible. So that means Kate Cavall and Amaya Joyner are going to have really sound, smart defensive performance in this game.
Well, Oldacare is not even their leading scorer. So Madison Booker is like 19 points a game, and then it drops off significantly after that. Look, the last time LSU and Texas squared off, like we said, LSU won 70-65. It was in the Maravich Assembly Center. It was in front of it, a very strong, solid audience. But since that time, this team continues to gel. And since that time, this team continues to improve. And also since that time, I think it's worth noting, you see different leading scorers every single night. That's going to make it a lot more difficult for Texas to be that lockdown defense that they're used to being. Last time out, if you're curious, the last time out, Michaela Williams led the way for LSU. She had 20 points, but also Jada Richard, Flau'jae Johnson, Zakiya Johnson, and Malaysia Full-Wiley were in double figures. It's the fact that we can score from just about anywhere bodes well for LSU. 8 p.m. tip-off, 7:30 is pregame. Patrick Wright and Shaida Williams will be on the call right here on Talk 107.3. All right. What was cut one?
Oh, you talking about the lane kipper?
Yeah.
Let me look. Staff did awesome job with this class.
Okay.
Cut two.
Morning, Haggai.
QB is handled in the spring.
Staff did awesome job.
How QB is handled in the spring is cut two.
Okay.
Cut 5 is the volume they took in the portal. In cut 6, how LSU's NIL plan helped this class. Good morning.
doing today?
Doing well.
You sound like bring back the crud from DC.
I did.
Seems like every time either I get into a plane or somebody I know gets into a plane, they come back with crud. Lately,
It's kind of ridiculous. Like, I take emergency the day before and the day of, and I take vitamin C tablets like entire week leading up to it, and it doesn't freaking matter. Like I can do all the prep work I want to, and then I'll take another emergency before flying home again. And there it is. 3 days later, here I am.
Yeah, but you didn't start getting symptoms till like a week later, right? So almost wonder.
I got home Saturday night.
And you started feeling like that.
I felt like when I woke up yesterday morning, that's when I started feeling bad. So 3 days later, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. But see, my son's been sick for more than a week. Christy's been sick as well. So, like, it's been in the house too since before I left. But I've been dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. Well, there's a reference that could come back. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge. The 5 Ds of dodgeball. There you go. Oh, hell, this is me. Shit. Refreshing screens to make sure I've got the latest for you. All right, let's check traffic real quick. Here is what we've got going on our interstates to start off your morning. Actually, yeah, very, very quickly on the interstates. You've got volume and slowdowns on I-12 westbound approaching Range Avenue. Once you're past Range, you should be good to go, except for a quick blip in between Sherwood and Airline, where it's, you're going to touch the brakes a little bit. 10 westbound coming in from Ascension's great. 10 eastbound coming in from West Baton Rouge is great. I-110 looks good as well. Now, well, I say I-110 looks good. There's an accident up there, though. Even though it's moving smoothly, I-110 southbound by Hollywood, there's an accident that has been pushed off the road. Also, I'm showing this from about 40 minutes ago, an accident 10 westbound in between the Split and Acadian, but I'm not showing where there's the board says it's in the roadway, but I'm not showing any delays as a result. Meanwhile, off the interstates, if you regularly take Highland Road, it looks like there's a road closure as it goes under I-10. As Highland makes its way all the way downtown, goes under 10 to get into downtown, it looks like we've got a closure in both directions on Highland Road as you're making your way into downtown or out of downtown, whichever way you're going. Also, there is an accident with injuries up in Central, Hooper Road at Lansdowne Road. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. South Boulevard? Okay.
Between Nicholson and Highland, that South Boulevard is blocked off right now.
Okay.
So that's where I come up the road, try to
Yeah.
right there, and it's blocked off right now. You got to go past it.
624 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Haggai Davis letting me know the closure is actually on South Boulevard as you're coming into town, which I believe isn't that what Highland turns into?
No, that's the north. That's the east-west street.
All right. Well, then my map has it off by a road, with the closure. So either way, if you're coming in towards downtown from, like, let's say campus, divert either towards River Road, or you're going to want to loop in east of 110 and then loop back around. So, but Haggai's let me know South Boulevard is where the actual closure is. Lane Kiffin spoke with the media yesterday, trying to make sense of everything that went down over the course of the transfer portal, from early signing day to transfer portal to yesterday was actually National Signing Day, or at least it used to be National Signing Day. LSU picked up 2 guys yesterday to round out the class. Lane Kiffin spoke with the media at about 2:00 yesterday afternoon. We're going to get to that in just a second. Do need to remind you about the folks over at Neurojust, Neurojust, Neurojust.com. If you battle with anxiety or depression, if you're constantly, or someone you love is constantly in that fight or flight mode, it wears you down. It's exhausting. You hear the commercial that runs here. It's like constantly having 6-foot waves smashing around in your head. And if you're treatment resistant, meaning the sit down therapy doesn't really do it for you, and you really don't like the antidepressants, the prescription drug route, give NeuroJust a look at neurojust.com. They specialize in transcranial magnetic stimulation. FDA approved, non-invasive, and oh, by the way, your insurance picks up the tab. If you want to learn more, if you want to calm those seas, if you want to get out of that fight or flight, constant fight or flight battle, learn more at neurojust.com. Lane Kiffin spoke with the media yesterday to put a button on this year's recruiting class. Let's start off with some kudos for the staff. Cut one.
Our staff did a really good job in a very challenging situation. Luckily, we were recruiting to LSU and all the great things with that made us able to put together this class. But that was a challenging time. Been discussed before, the calendar is what it is. And, to try and put together a staff at the same time of trying to keep the current players immediately before the portal open as they were preparing for a bowl game with the previous staff, and then just kind of uncharted waters by our staff, a number of our staff offensively going back and forth between the playoff run at the last place and then trying to put together this group here.
I could talk about that one soundbite for the rest of the hour. So much to unpack from that. First of all, the fact that he leads with giving everybody else the love is awesome, but that's kind of expected. The other part of this, one of the things I've been noticing about Lane Kiffin is when you talk about who's a fit and who's not a fit, right? Lane Kiffin is fully aware that he was not born south of I-10. Lane Kiffin is fully aware that he does not sound like Ed Ogeron. Lane Kiffin is fully aware that he ain't no Cajun him, right? But he loves everything about us. He constantly refers to like LSU as if it's still distant, as if he's not adopted yet, but he wants to be. And then the fact that he referred to Ole Miss as the last place. Yeah. That's so good. All right. Like I said, I could talk about that one bite for the rest of the hour, but we got to move on. All right. Sam Levitt comes in as our new quarterback, as LSU's new quarterback. However, he's got a foot injury thing that he's dealing with. So the quarterback situation is going to look a little bit different in spring. What's it going to look like?
Sam will be able to throw some and participate in 7-on-7 stuff in the spring, probably not the team stuff. And so I think it was, regardless, we would have done what we did, but it's also imperative to get quarterbacks because that's going to be a lot of how your spring ball goes, which is your first time of your team feeling an offense. And our offense is very much pushed and driven by the quarterback because of the tempo piece of it. So
gotta love that, being able to work out timing and things with the receivers, even if it's 7-on-7. That's a good look. All right, we have 10 seconds or a full minute. Okay, all right, all good. Next up, want to talk about portal volume. This was huge this year. Are we going to have to deal with, because I don't know about you, but I got portal fatigue. Thank God for the folks at LouisianaSports.net. They were on top of it, so I didn't have to be. But are we going to look at this every single, is this the norm?
And we had a lot to replace, by coming in. And part of that is some players' decisions to move on, maybe because they felt a certain way of the previous staff versus the direction we were going. And part of that is our decisions too. And so in those evaluations, usually come in and make a lot of changes. And especially if the program made a change, and fired a staff because they didn't like the direction of the football program, which is what happened. So I know at first there was a lot of skepticism about so many players going in the portal, but I just looked at it and was like, okay, what's my answer to you as the fans and media too, if we just kept the same players? I mean, we are good coaches, I think, but we also don't have magic dust too, so we changed a lot because there needed to be changes.
So it probably won't be as big every year. News is coming up. Haggai's next. So there's a closure there. There's a closure there. When Highland comes up, that's what they're showing as a closure.
I don't use Highland. So,
Yeah.
But I always turn up right here.
Yeah.
And that's what's closed.
Okay, but like what I'm saying,
Highland
you're going this way. I'm saying there's closure this way
I'm
too.
trying to come here and go this way.
Right.
And so that's blocked off. This right here is blocked off. But
What?
But I can go.
But what I'm saying is you're correct, but also the more heavily trafficked road,
right,
when we're speaking to the most amount of people, there's a closure there as well.
But if I come up one block right here, this is open further up.
Correct.
Yeah,
but it's not further back.
Correct.
That
that Highland back close going towards campus. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's Highland is going to be more heavily trafficked than south.
Oh, sure.
Because south, I use that little shortcut too. Like very few people actually use that. If you come up Nicholson, you make that right. Even if you make the left on Highland, it has that little side sweep that knocks it down to 3 blocks before you're at Guarantee.
Yep.
I'll usually take it all the way up to either the block before McDonald's, or take it all the way up to the parking lot across the street from us. And you just jet right through, you cut through the parking lot, and you're in our parking lot.
Brenda's telling you thank you for the king cake. We're at using the chat.
You didn't already get it, did you?
I hope not. He's just
No, Brett.
He's thanking you for the referral.
No. Brett okay, so
a week ago?
between me and Bree Lynn being a complete hot mess yesterday, both of us had brain fog yesterday.
I kept thinking it was Thursday.
Right. So, and I had something that I wanted to do in that last segment, and in the moment I started thinking it was Thursday, I started thinking it was Thursday too. And then the moment, so I was like,
left it out.
I know. And I was like, I'm asking myself, why did I leave that out? And I couldn't remember what it was I wanted to do there. So I was like, oh, it must be the king cake because it's Thursday. But it wasn't Thursday.
The whole time we thought it was Thursday. Haggai.
Oh, I mean.
No, I texted Brett and I said, don't go today, go tomorrow. So I think he's just saying in general, thank you for the king cake.
You're very welcome. Enjoy. I got to get with Tony anyway because he's supposed to be on Mathern's or Foodie Friday tomorrow.
Woo-hoo.
By the way, I really hope I can taste things by the end of the show. We got Bally's and the Queen coming in.
You can't
It,
taste right now? Things taste weird.
Like I had for dinner last night, my wife makes this incredible egg roll in a bowl. It's awesome. It's so good. This is yeah. So I had that, but like I had to add a ton of sriracha to it because all I could taste is spicy. Like yesterday at Rotary, my salad was nothing but jalapeno peppers.
Oh, really?
I just basically had a plate of jalapenos, and that beef and broccoli was good.
That was really good.
It was way better than I was expecting.
No kidding. I was like, damn, I want to go back there and get the recipe for that.
Right. It's like, why?
Yeah, I apologize,
this ain't takeout
Chad.
food.
It's been a week.
Yeah.
Poor Brian's like suffering over here. And I kept thinking, like, when it was Monday, I kept thinking it's Tuesday. When it was Tuesday, I kept thinking, remember that? I kept thinking it was Wednesday all week, y'all. Today, I know it's Thursday, Haggai.
Yeah. Kill the mics. Kill. 636 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. A little over a week ago, Governor Jeff Landry made a huge announcement up in Washington, Mardi Gras, in fact, about workforce development and where we're going to be headed with it. Tomorrow afternoon, be on the lookout in Ascension Parish for the governor to be stopping by the Hyundai Steel plant for the groundbreaking out there. How are we going to staff that up? How are we going to make sure Louisianans are the ones who are manning those jobs? We're going to talk workforce development with Governor Jeff Landry coming up at 7:15 right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Right now, though, time for a cup of tech gumbo. What's happening, Haggai?
Oh, it's a Thursday morning.
I'm telling you, it's in every sense of the word.
Yeah, apparently that's an update to a couple of people in this room, but I mean,
A little inside
on,
joke right
Haggai.
there. All right, no, we don't do inside jokes here. Everything is shared with the audience.
yes.
Between my brain fog and just me and Bree Lynn, like getting back from Washington, D.C., it's been kind of a juggling act to get back on the right track. Like we've been off all week long. So Bree Lynn and I both yesterday, once Franz left, we both thought it was Thursday for the rest of the day. So we drew for our king cake yesterday. We give away a king cake at Matherns, Highland and Kenilworth. We give away a king cake every single week. We're supposed to do that on Thursday. We accidentally did that yesterday. So that's the story behind. I know jokes get less funny when you explain them, but they're also not funny when you don't understand them. So, all right, that's where that. Yes, we all know it's Thursday right now, but will we remember that next hour? Well, it has been a week today. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover here. I want to start with this. Can I have Bite Dance back?
No, as a matter of fact, you can't.
Oh, TikTok has been moved over to their new American management, if you will.
Oracle,
Yeah.
and a couple other companies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, so you're not on TikTok.
Nope, never
I
have
am.
been.
I am. And I got to tell you, the algorithm right now, let me share a personal story. Way back when I was like 9 years old, I told my grandmother that I liked beef jerky. When Bon Marché, remember when Bon Marché
Yeah.
used to have that whole beef jerky and cheese store and all? Remember that it was
Okay.
Mentioned once that I like beef jerky. I got in some form or fashion beef jerky to go along with every birthday and Christmas until she passed. That's what TikTok's algorithm is right now. You tell it you like one thing, and you're going to get that one thing for flipping ever. It's my entire feed is Sopranos and Modern Family clips. Love them. Would like to see something else.
Well, part of what's going on over there with the boys and girls at TikTok is they're under new management. Oracle is the managing partner of the new ownership of the U.S. And they put out a whole new set of rules and regulations, their new terms and conditions page, if you will.
Yep.
And they're telling people up front, they are tracking and collecting your racial and ethnic origin, your religious and philosophical beliefs, your mental and physical health data, your sexual orientation, your gender status, your citizenship and immigration status, and your precise location.
I'm fine with all that. Just give me the videos I want.
Well, not everyone is happy with that.
Oh, no, I know. But I understand because you have taught me well. If I'm not the consumer, I'm part of the product.
Right.
TikTok is free, therefore I'm not a customer. I'm part of the product. That's a willing trade that I make off. I know where you're going with this is that and a lot of people aren't cool with that.
That's right. There's a lot of people who are really concerned right now that if they're on TikTok and let's say your immigration status is not what the current administration would like it to be, they're worried that because now the administration is got such close ties to TikTok, they're going to use TikTok to come find you.
Okay, how in the world would TikTok know your immigration status? When do you search up like I'm an illegal?
Well, I don't have that precise answer, but my immediate guess would be if you're searching things in the Spanish language as opposed to English, that's going to be a tip-off.
No, that's a tip-off that you speak Spanish.
Well,
it's not a tip-off to your
I'm just
immigration
saying,
status.
knowing where you're not knowing, watching the news,
Mm-hmm.
A plus B could equal C here. That's all I'm saying.
I guess that it feels like a reach.
It probably is.
Yeah.
And it probably is. I mean, I'm not inside the algorithms of TikTok. I don't know, but TikTok has had a whole lot of people delete the apps and unsubscribe since January 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 150% more in those first 4 days after the new ownership versus the previous 90-day rolling average.
Yeah.
Now, again, 150% could mean they lost 10,000 people compared to the 200,000 who signed up.
Right.
So but there was just a huge spike in the number of people who deleted the app. A lot of it had to do with when on the cutover, when everything went down and people thought the world was coming to an end because they couldn't get their TikTok for 8 hours.
Yeah.
That was part of it. But also these new rules and regulations, these terms and conditions, this is making people a lot more uncomfortable, even though Google and Facebook and Twitter and every other social media platform has been collecting all of this exact information for years.
Well, and this is the conversation we had when the whole debate about it being China-owned versus American-owned. It's no different. There is no difference between being owned by China and being owned by America and sold to China.
China bad, California good.
I understand that.
I mean, that's the bottom line. Who do you want having all of your information?
Exactly. And then just if you, I know it's cynical, but if you work under the assumption that everybody's got it anyway,
and
then,
they do,
yeah. So my whole thing is just give me my dope, man. I am Pookie in New Jack City. You just give me the crack that I need to clock out for a little while. I mean, TikTok is my guilty pleasure. I want to disassociate and like turn off the brain for a while. And that's my go-to.
You want to get into the doom scroll and go.
Yeah. And until it has a legitimate competitor, and by the way, Reels is not a legitimate competitor. Like as far as, well, at least as far as what they feed me is concerned. Too much AI over on Reels. Political AI.
Yeah, and the same thing with the Google, the YouTube Shorts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
most content creators are putting their stuff in all three platforms.
Yeah.
They're not just putting it all on TikTok. And so if your algorithms on the other platforms just aren't showing it the way they are or did on TikTok in your case, maybe you just got to go back and feed it some other things. Hey, I need
to start searching more, don't I?
Yeah.
Rather than scrolling, I need to start searching.
Go back and build your profile back the way you want it. Feed it some other things that you want to see beyond just The Sopranos.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, it's amazing the feeds that are showing up in social media right now.
Well, and the targeted advertising is really ramped up. Which, by the way, hang on, I've been waiting to talk to you because the targeting advertising on Facebook is super ramped up as well. Saturday, I'm flying home from DCA, from Reagan to Dallas, from Dallas to Baton Rouge, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're on the tarmac at Reagan National, and you could smell like fumes all throughout the cabin of the plane. And I'm wondering to myself, is that healthy? Like I can legitimately smell something. I don't know if it's jet fuel. I don't know what, but like I can legitimately, and then I stopped wondering about it because I nodded off. And then like instantly, like it was like sleeping gas basically. And then I get to DFW, and when I'm on the tarmac at DFW, I get an ad on Facebook that says, "Are you smelling fumes in an airplane?"
Nice.
Legitimately, like, and I never said it out loud. I just thought it. I'm like, this can't be good for me. Like breathing this stuff in. And then like the very next stop along the way. Now, obviously, you put up the advertising walls around. You geo-target and whatnot,
right?
And that's going to be a thing. But it amazed me. It was for a law firm, Morgan and Morgan, I think. I don't know the name, but like it was very direct, and it was like, wow, that's super scary, right in front of my face.
So, I wonder if other people on the same plane, and because TikTok or whichever Facebook knew you were on a specific flight.
I had deboarded one plane and got on another. So I don't think there were. I mean, I would say there were 3 different people who were on the first plane that were on the second plane. 3, like all coming home from Washington Mardi Gras.
You know, if they're posting and somehow or another, your feeds are reading everything your computer or your phone is telling them.
Oh.
You know, if you're talking to Delta, you know, and your computer's reading it and it's feeding the algorithms. Hey, I'm on this Delta flight. That's how that would get there.
That's what fuels the conspiracy theories, to be sure. He's Haggai Davis. We do a cup of tech gumbo about this time every single week. Quick break. We'll come back next. We'll continue next. Didn't want to make it sound like you were done. Where you want to go? I kind of derailed that whole segment. It was good, but I derailed it.
Oh, let's see. Where do we want to go from here? Let's see. We can do. I mean, Firefox has put a kill switch, so if you don't want all the AI stuff jammed into your browser.
Yes, so that one. I also saw the one about the EV vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Or EVs taking over petrol vehicles in the EU.
Yep.
You know, one of the things I noticed up in DC, a lot of EVs in DC.
Sure.
EVs don't melt ice. You give me a good engine that warms up, and you might not see piles of ice for 6 days.
You go to New York City,
yeah,
and that's all you see is EVs.
Yeah.
Crazy, but they don't melt ice. They stay running cool. No, it's underscored benefit of having the good old, like, just give me a big old dually to drive up and down Connecticut. The Connecticut Avenue in Washington D.C., not this state.
Yeah, you know, if you look at like in the Scandinavian countries, in Norway and Sweden, it's like 80% of the new vehicles purchased there are EVs.
I guess it's not. They don't solve the problem; they just defer the problem, but they make people feel good.
Well, they're quieter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and you know, they don't put out the fumes.
No, but the plants that make the energy still do. So
absolutely, you're trading. You're not. Where
right.
Do you
it's
want
not.
the fumes?
It's not. You're not right.
Not.
But it's
the fumes are 500 miles.
You're not
away.
solving the world's problems. You're deferring the world's problems.
Yeah, and the tires wear out faster, leaving grains of rubber on the roads.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, those vehicles are at least 1.5 times heavier than the automobile, because the battery in a gas car, as the fuel burns out of the tank, that vehicle becomes lighter.
Yeah.
The EV stays the same weight no matter what.
True.
It's, you know, if a standard car is 3,000 pounds, the EV is 4,500.
Right. And it's always 4,500.
Always 4,500.
Right.
Whereas that 20-gallon tank.
Did we finish early?
It's okay. Just crank it out now. I had it on your money now. I had it on your money now. And I switched it back. Nah, that was me. I switched it back.
Okay.
We were just early by 5 seconds.
We can also, if you want, you know, the whole XAI and Grok become the porn site that they are. And now that they've merged,
I'm kind of done talking about him.
I am too. We closed the show saying we're putting a ban on Musk for a while.
We bled that dry for so long with the Doge stuff.
But the merging now, so you're gonna have porn on the side of the rockets going into space. It's already a phallic symbol going up. But, I mean, I'm done with Musk for a while.
I'm actually breathing through my nose for the first time since Tuesday.
There you go. Progress.
That's a win.
Yeah. Yeah, my Facebook Reels, it's like it's begging me to talk politics. And it's not always like incendiary. So it's not always like angry politics. It's a lot of Bill Maher. And a lot of interestingly enough, black conservative creators.
I happened to stop just kind of scrolling the other day on Reels, and it was a Les Mis song was singing. And now every third reel is Les Mis. I didn't click on it to watch it. I just stopped on it.
Yeah.
Because I had something else going on, caught my attention.
Well, it's like if you don't bail within 2 seconds, they think you like it.
Yeah, and I do like Les Mis, but I mean,
Fred Smoot on with Moscone yesterday. That's the first thing popped up on my TikTok today. Ad.
Yeah, Smoot's got a kid. I saw part of that interview. Smoot's got a kid who's going to be
looking at LSU. Yeah,
LSU's his dream school.
That's awesome. Yeah. 652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Cup of Tech Gumbo with Haggai Davis continuing right now. All right, pivoting topics here, Haggai, because I can complain like the two old men and the Muppets all day long about TikTok. But let's move over because there's like you mentioned this during the break, and I read the story as well because it fascinates me. Firefox is adding a switch to turn AI features off. Tell me all about it.
So a lot of people are just kind of overwhelmed by all of the AI, everything AI, to where they just want their browser just to go back the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so the folks at Firefox have heard this and have said, you know what? If you don't want all the extra artificial intelligence built into your browser, we're putting in a kill switch for you. That'll take out all of the artificial intelligence and it'll just be a browser the way it's been the browser for a long time.
What's the difference going to physically look like?
Well, it's not going to start anticipating what you're looking for when you're typing in a URL. It's not going to, if you're on specific sites, it's not going to automatically try and guess the next thing you're looking for. It's just going to go back to being the browser the way the browsers have always been. And that's not going to come out until like near the end of February. But the folks over at Mozilla who create Firefox have said, fine, you don't want all the AI, we're going to take that out of it for you.
I'm trying to grasp how that serves the customer. I know it's what the customer says they want, right? But how many times have tech companies told us what we want, and then as we continue to adapt, we find, yeah, we kind of did want that, even if we didn't want it from the start.
Well, but it's not just them. Even Microsoft in their Windows,
yep, they've
kind of heard a whole lot of. We've put Copilot in everything. We've almost rebranded the name of the company to Copilot. So they're pulling back and saying, okay, maybe we don't need to put Copilot in Paint or in Notepad, and so they're slowly kind of saying, okay, we went a little too far too quick with the artificial intelligence in everything. Maybe some people just want, because it's happening so fast,
mm-hmm.
and it takes people time, sometimes a generation to really grasp. And the way this artificial intelligence has just rolled over the entire planet at light speed, people are, the whiplash effect, they're just not catching up to it quick enough.
But we are catching up though. Like I use Copilot more and more every week.
You're adapting to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're in most people, like especially myself, I mean, I'm still trying to learn and learn more and more every day about how to use all of the different things inside of all the different large language models. A lot of people just aren't there yet though. Not everyone is adapting as quick as you and I are.
Everything that has evolved, everything that has grown in our society, there was a time where people didn't like it. There was a time where people didn't like the part of the seatbelt that goes over your chest.
Absolutely.
There was a time where people said, I'm not reheating my leftovers in a microwave. I'll do it on the stovetop like I always have.
But that didn't change overnight. That took time.
Right.
I mean, I remember when you had to first use seatbelts. When I first learned to drive, seatbelts weren't mandatory yet.
Right.
Or they were just becoming mandatory. And so, yes, it now it's just second nature. You don't even start the engine until you click the seatbelt.
Right.
Well, and I remember when smartphones came out, everybody's just give me the phone that I can just push. I don't need all that extra stuff. And now we can't live without our phones. But that's been 25 years.
Yeah.
And so it takes time for people to adapt to it, to and understand this is now part of our life. Artificial intelligence is not going away, but they want to ingest it slower than having it. It's rolled over them once, it's backed up over them, and now it's hitting them a third time from a different direction.
Right.
And they're just trying to say, slow down a second. I need to catch up to you, because they don't know what to do with it as much as these big tech companies think they should know how to do already.
Okay, now let me ask this question, because with AI being ever present in our society, if you have the chance to turn it off, if you have the chance to remain, I apologize for using this terminology, if you want to remain willfully ignorant to AI while others are still keeping it turned on, won't that just widen the gap between knowledge bases and usage bases and workforce bases and educational base? Like, isn't that going to widen the gap between those who are staying ahead of the curve and those who are falling further and further and further behind?
Absolutely, it will. And it's no different than having, a dial-up internet versus having broadband in your house. Back in now, if you don't have gig speed at your house, you only get 100 meg download. You don't have a full gig coming into the house. And I can get things so much faster because I have the gig speed at the house. So that digital divide has been there for a long time. It's not going to go away. Yes, more and more people need to understand this is going to be a part of our daily lives forever,
right?
Or for the foreseeable future, until we think about artificial intelligence the same way we think of how intertwined the internet is into our lives. If you go back 30 years ago, nobody knew what the internet was.
Right.
Well, in just 30 short years, the internet is so pervasive, you don't even think about it because it's just like oxygen. It's there.
Yeah. You're going to have to start amending that timeline, though. 30 years ago, we were all getting those AOL discs in the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they still didn't know it was called the internet. It was still the information superhighway back then.
Yeah. Yes, it was. But that's when I got my Yahoo account. And I still have that same Yahoo account.
Do you really?
Well, you go to Home Depot, they're going to ask you for an email. I don't want your stuff. So
okay,
send it over to the Yahoo account. It just sits there.
That's what I use Gmail for.
Probably about 6,000 unread emails in there somewhere. I just open it up every quarter and hit delete. Don't even read them. What else on the show this week?
Oh, we've got a whole lot of different things. We're going to talk about Elon Musk for the last time for quite some time because we're just done with him. EVs are now outselling gasoline cars in the European Union. And there's also a new trend especially starting off in New York City. They're using batteries instead of gas generators to run the food trucks. So New York City is getting quieter.
I want to pick up on that if we can next
Sure.
week. Absolutely. He's Haggai Davis. We do a cup of tech gumbo. Get it Saturday and Sunday right here on Talk 107.3 and everywhere you get podcasts on demand. Ended up over by 3 seconds. Oh, good stuff. Yeah, the food truck battery thing I find interesting.
Yeah.
Because like, okay, I talk about like if you're running an EV car instead of a gas car, you're just deferring the problem. I find it different with food trucks because you have customers who are standing there, A, talking over that loud ass generator trying to yell, and B, having to stand there waiting for their food, sucking in fumes like they're at the middle of behind a tractor at a Mardi Gras parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that is a huge benefit from the customer.
Because they're still using propane to cook the food.
Right.
The generator is just running the point of sale and the refrigeration and the lights.
Right.
That's all and so if you plug in using those batteries for the e-bikes run on to run your point of sale and your refrigeration and your lights, as opposed to hearing that. Walk through the streets of New York City right now, and there's 4 food trucks per block, and you just can't talk because the damn generators are so loud.
That's right. There's more customer base.
Yeah, we were listening to a podcast recently. Somebody had just come back from China, where the majority of the cars in China now are EVs. And you walk through the cities, these big cities, and it's quiet because you're not hearing all the gasoline engines and diesel trucks and everything because they're all electric now.
Yeah.
And it's,
Which would be scary to me.
When hearing birds, chirping in the city instead of hearing the interstate cars and everything.
Yeah. There's never been a time where traffic has been quiet. Before cars, horses made noise when their hooves hit the ground.
Yeah. All righty. See you, Facebook.
Have you ever watched Family Guy? He's a sex addict. Yeah.
I did see a post.
Jesus.
SEC schools mentioned in the Epstein files.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, it could be just somebody in an email. Hey, you're going to watch the LSU football game tonight,
Right.
But that's him. Yeah.
Well, I would imagine the more relevant your school, the more often you're going to show up there. Like nobody's saying you're going to watch the Mississippi State game.
But Vanderbilt was the number two, Texas, and then Vanderbilt.
Yeah. Yep.
Fun times in DC.
Okay. Is this AI or not? That's the point. I have no idea if it is or not. And that's the majority of my Facebook reels.
I don't know. I don't see why it would not, but I can't. It's a better chance that it is AI as opposed to. Statistically, now you've got to believe that it's AI generated.
I believe everything's AI generated at this point.
Unless you were on the side.
Dude, the last segment we did was pretty much AI. I don't remember being here. Neither do you. That's.
No, well, Bree saw it, so we know.
Well, she don't know what day it is.
Have a great day.
You too. Appreciate it. 7:05 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. We dipped down to right at freezing to start off your 7 o'clock hour as we're broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. Busy hour this hour. Looking forward to this for some time. Governor Jeff Landry going to be on the hotline in our next segment. 7:15 we got Governor Jeff Landry. We are talking workforce development. There was an overriding theme at Washington Mardi Gras last week, and there will be an overriding theme in the upcoming legislative session. What are we doing to make sure all these big announcements, all these jobs with all these high-paying salaries are going to be filled by Louisianans? What are we doing on that front to make sure that we're taken care of for the next generation of Louisiana and beyond? Governor Jeff Landry going to join us coming up 10 minutes from right now. Also, this hour, we've got Crime Stoppers coming your way. Lieutenant Don Coppola going to stop by, see if we can't catch a couple bad guys. Right now, though, top stories and trending. Starts us off in New Roads, where a New Roads police officer who shot a man multiple times when responding to a disturbance call back in September resigned yesterday following an alleged improper arrest. Officer John Chambliss shot John Sexton, 45 years old, back on September 19th. Our news partners at WBRZ obtained the body cam footage of the shooting. Chambliss ordered Sexton to drop a metal object multiple times and deployed non-lethal tactics before pulling his handgun and shooting 4 times. Sexton was arrested for aggravated assault on a peace officer after he was released from the hospital. Though the story goes on to say, though it wasn't publicly reported, Chambliss was facing attempted murder charges. A grand jury chose not to indict in either case. The next generation of U.S. defense will run through Louisiana. Possibly overlooked in all the festivities of Washington Mardi Gras was an announcement out of D.C. where LSU and the U.S. Army Cyber Command have entered into a formal agreement on advanced research, prototype development, education and training, and technology transfer to build cyber capabilities for the U.S. Army under U.S. Cyber Command. This was the story that I've been talking about since Washington Mardi Gras, kind of teasing forward, and we will get a whole lot more information on it in very, very short order. And Louisiana Department of Health expanded a benefits program that aims to incentivize buying fresh produce to East Baton Rouge Parish Walmart stores. The Louisiana Carrot Initiative provides SNAP recipients with a 30-cent bonus for every dollar spent on fresh produce at participating retailers. Participants can earn up to $25 in bonus benefits each month. The East Feliciana Parish School System will be moving to a 4-day school week starting during the 26 to 27 school year. The new schedule will include extended class days from Tuesday through Friday, which they say will allow students to have more time to focus on high-quality instruction. President Donald Trump has endorsed Blake Miguez in the 5th congressional district race. The nod comes just a few days after Miguez bowed out of the Senate race, opting to run in the 5th instead. What you got?
President Trump is expected to attend the National Prayer Breakfast at the Washington Hilton.
Awesome. That's probably underway by now, huh?
I'm reading online that already started.
Yeah, I would imagine. It's 8 o'clock over there. So
I still don't know what room they're putting them in.
Yeah. No, they're not going to have all that online. It's not going to be readily available. You got to know somebody. You got to know somebody who's in the room. Yeah. It's the president. There's security details and whatnot. I'm sure the Secret Service doesn't want it online saying they're going to be, probably not on the terrace level, probably the next level down. Like that's not going to be public knowledge.
Right.
Because, the Washington Hilton, oh God, don't say this out loud. When I put things in the universe, the Washington Hilton, other than Washington Mardi Gras, was famous for an assassination attempt.
What?
Yeah. President Reagan. Remember when Reagan got shot? That was the back entrance to the Washington Hilton.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Don't be putting those things out, Brian.
No.
Come on.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
And was it for a prayer breakfast?
I don't remember.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie and her siblings made an emotional plea for the return of their mother, Nancy Guthrie. That was heart-wrenching to watch.
It really is. I saw it, or I was listening to it on the way in. Well, I was listening to it while I was getting ready in the 4 o'clock hour. And then I was listening to it on the way in in the 5 o'clock hour as America in the Morning led with it this morning. And it brutal to watch.
You can see the two siblings sitting on each side of her and ghost face. It's like they can't process that that's still happening. And I just feel so bad for the three of them,
Yeah.
Kamala Harris's former campaign social media platforms, Kamala HQ, they're teasing an announcement for later today on their platforms.
Yeah.
Galen in the chat said that Kamala HQ lived on Twitter, which I get that. But from what I'm reading, she's not only going to bring it back to social platforms, but I almost wonder if she's creating this whole new social media, like kind of how Trump has Truth Social, where you can post, you can comment, you can share, you kind of like Reddit.
Yeah.
Same ordeal. Is the new Kamala HQ
She's centralizing it, taking all of her different social media outlets and centralizing it.
So we shall see.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, the place is gonna be a mess. Oh, by the way, we don't need more of this. We don't need more centralized or belief specific hives.
Right.
And I'm not saying this because she's a Democrat. And I'm not saying it because this has nothing to do with my personal politics. But the more we section ourselves off from each other, the more we fall into our echo chambers and bubbles,
Right.
the less we recognize each other as humans, the less we recognize each other in real life. So
I know. And then Kim saying if Trump did it, then let her. I get that, Kim, but we don't need more reason to separate ourselves. I'm with Brian.
yeah. I'm being told that I have the wrong Hilton for the Reagan assassination attempt.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on.
I was told this by like more than 24 people.
Reagan. Let me look.
Nah, I tell you what, we're not going to do this in real time. We'll look at, but shout out to Paul Arrigo, former head of Visit Baton Rouge. He's my fact checker. He when I'm wrong, he corrects me regularly.
I'm seeing Washington Hilton.
Yeah, well,
Unless there was another one. There might have been
there's
another
a
one.
Capitol Hilton as well. So I'll get that fact checked over there. I'll get that fact checked over there. But always appreciate Paul, who keeps me in line. All right, we got to take a quick break before we do that. Before we take that break, got to remind you about Danny over at 5 Star Printing and Signs. When you want to not have to worry about accuracy, call Danny at 271-4096. If you want to make sure what you're getting printed is right. And oh, by the way, this election year, timelines are all, they're skewed. We've got things pushed up because of the Senate race and the congressional race that's happening 100 days from now. Those elections are 100 days from today. Unbelievable. Danny at 5 Star Printing and Signs, this is his wheelhouse. This is what he does best. This is what he does best. Yeah. No. See, you don't get those mistakes from Danny. You get those mistakes from me. Learn more at printshop5.com or give him a call. I highly recommend giving him a call at 271-4096. Of course, that's 225-271-4096 for 5 Star Printing and Signs. Governor Jeff Landry's next. You what? Joe Biden. Now I'm told I'm right.
Oh, Lord.
I'm right. I've stood at the exit. I know.
Kim,
1919 Connecticut Avenue.
Huh. So, Kim, not to pivot away from what Brian's saying, for real? So, okay, when Savannah Guthrie was making that plea and they had the sister on her left, the brother on the right, you're saying that sister's husband is a suspect. I went down a rabbit hole in the first hour, and I'll keep it quick. Hold on, let me find my paper. All right. So, Kim, and this is on the internet, okay? I'm going to keep it quick because I know we're coming out of break. Hear me out. Savannah Guthrie, her husband is Talk 1073. Hey, Jeff, we'll be coming to you in about 2 minutes.
You know what I was. How about hello, Mr. Governor?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, Jeff. Were y'all frying fish together last weekend?
Yeah. So Savannah's husband, Kim, is a Feldman. Okay, hear me out. He started a company called Grover Park. And they're saying that the husband, we're coming back in, but the husband pretty much worked with the Clintons for 8 years as a scrubber on the internet. So let that sink in. Yep.
$7:15 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Not ready to correct my correction yet, but I think I was right about the Washington Hilton.
Well, you need to correct
Well,
me because
no.
apparently when I answer the phone, hey Jeff.
No, that's all fair. We don't need to over that. I'm pretty sure I had this right. I've gotten multiple confirmations that I was right on this. In fact, here comes another one. Washington Hilton, where Washington Mardi Gras was last week, where the National Prayer and Breakfast was this morning. Rewind the clock back to last week. A lot of Washington Mardi Gras kicked off with Governor Jeff Landry making some pretty bold announcements about the direction the state's going to head when it comes to workforce development. I said, I got to get in on this. We got to get him back on the show. He joins us now. Governor Landry, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Brian.
Glad to have you back on again. Glad to be talking about the specific topic we're talking about. If we can rewind the clock back to when you were first elected, I asked you, and I know you're not going to remember this, but I asked you if you could add to your list of goals returning a 7th congressional seat to Louisiana. And you got a little bit fired up about that. And it's going to take a lot of doing, but that's going to mean rebuilding the population. And this ties into that, doesn't it? Rebuilding the population means building up a workforce as well. So let's start walking down the path of, I tell you what, let's start here. Recap for this audience what your announcement was last week.
Well, first of all, our announcement last week was an executive order to modernize Louisiana's workforce system for this new era of growth. And what it does is it shifts dollars from bureaucracy to actually training. It gives us the ability to respond faster to what employers demand in work skills. It prioritizes credentials that lead to real jobs and real wages. Again, part of the problem we've had is that we haven't been able to match the skills with the jobs, or we just haven't had the jobs.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like trying to put the cart before the horse. And one of the things that I saw, Brian, which was really disappointing and it left an imprint on me, was in the 90s when I was an economic development director, and we had just landed a Baker Hughes consolidation in oil and gas in Broussard, and we won. We were like, oh, yeah, we were fist pumping. We're like, this is great, high five. And then NAFTA basically was passed, and it destroyed the textile industry across many of the rural small towns in Louisiana. Basically, they unbolted all of those textile machines and sent them to Latin America, supposedly to create stability in Latin America, only to find out that those millions of people ended up coming across the border illegally. You see the mess we ended up with. Mm-hmm. And so we're not able to do when those kind of shocks occurred in our economy was to be able to match skills with work that was available, with jobs that were available. Today, we're in this unbelievable growth phase. We've got over 124,000 new job opportunities. And the thing that keeps me up at night is making sure that we can fill them all. And for the first time, back-to-back years, Louisiana finally seems to be crawling its way out of the hole where we got more people moving in than moving out. And so this whole executive order is surrounded around making sure that we prioritize the ability to train a workforce for the great jobs that are available.
Now, this is going to be twofold here, Governor. And the first one is, and this is the one that you're already attacking, is going to the companies that are, moving jobs here and asking them what do they need. But the other one is keeping one eye on the future, just for in general to know what the workforce is going to look like.
That's correct. That's correct. We look. The good thing is we've had a whole bunch of data. The bad thing is it's been sitting on shelves and nobody's been executing on it. Right now, you're right. Look, tomorrow we're going to go and break ground on the open up the Donaldsonville Hyundai Training Center, 50,000 square foot facility, $30 million training center to basically support 1,300 jobs in the region when that new steel plant comes. The good, again, and I think you hit upon a point, the difference between where we are today and where Louisiana was in the past is that we're diversifying our economy. We've got data centers going up in North Louisiana. We got one going up in St. Francisville. So we've got technology being driven in other areas. We've got rare earth refining in the southwest corner. We've got LNG expansions, and we've got a brand new steel mill right next to the steel mill. CF Industries doing an ammonia plant. Like, there is a lot going on. All of that activity is going to require skilled, great paying jobs.
That to go along with that is those skilled and great paying jobs all involve different kinds of training. So do we regionalize the training, or how do we make it applicable statewide?
Well, what we do, the one thing we do is we centralize the entire workforce system. Right now it's very fragmented. It's built upon a federal structure that kind of did exactly what you were saying, kind of regionalized it, but then they became over bureaucratized. And so actually there was a resolution by the Senate, the state Senate, the Louisiana State Senate, to ask the federal government to give us the ability to centralize this. None of that ever happened. Trump came in, he actually signed an executive order saying if states ask for it, we'll give it to them. And so this executive order orders that, and it causes us to be able to centralize it so that then we can look across the state and say, okay, where are the jobs? What are the skills needed for those particular jobs? And make sure that we push the education to those regions based upon the skill needed. Does that make sense? It's a lot, but there's a lot going on.
Well, yeah, no, that's kind of the part of the question that I'm asking is pushing the skills to the region, but like regionality, we're not picking teams here. It's not like Southeast gets one thing and Southwest gets one thing, although Southwest gets LNG, but like we're conceding that one in Baton Rouge. But like we want to be able to adapt wherever we are in the state.
Absolutely. We want to be flexible. We want to be nimble. Look, we don't want to grow government. We want government to work for growth, right? Which is private sector growth. And that's where we are. I mean, like, this is going to be a great year. The next couple of years are going to be great for Louisiana. I mean, look, you see it. Other states are suffering. They're having, teetering on recession. Unemployment is climbing in other places. In Louisiana, it's not. It's a great place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're in that spot right now, Governor, where we're in between announcement and application. I mean, we're starting to see some of it up in Northeast Louisiana with the Meta data center. The Woodside Energy announcement is huge, $17.5 billion. But things like that take time to go from announcement to our GDP. So it's the management process in between that I think we're all curious about.
Oh, listen, I love that phrase. Can I steal it? Announcement to application. I mean, I think
it's yours.
I think it does. I think that basically sums up exactly where we are. And I think that's some of the things that has frustrated people because we've made all these announcements and they're really just not feeling it yet.
Right.
But they're going to feel it.
Well, but we've been burned in the past. I think that's the hard part, right? We've been burned in the past, whether you're talking about a chicken plant or whatever. We've seen it not come to fruition before. So walk me through a little bit about how your office or Susan Bourgeois' office keeps the foot on the gas pedal to make sure promises are delivered.
Well, here's why. We move at the speed of business. In fact, I've heard from so many CEOs that they're like, we come to Louisiana and the team that y'all put together, Susan Bourgeois and the people that she surrounded herself with over there, and Susie Schoen over at Workforce, move at the speed of business. And those corporate executives tell me that. They're like, we've never come into a state under which they respond so fast. And if we feel like there's a project that's in trouble, we bring the executives into the mansion. We sit down with them. We bring the players at the table and say, okay, how do we take this from the 20-yard line to the 10-yard line to the goal line and then to score? And so far it's been a recipe for success.
We got Governor Jeff Landry with us talking a little bit about workforce development. All right, Governor, if we could pivot, and I do want to talk about tomorrow's groundbreaking a good bit as well. But before we get to that, last week's executive order, what is it going to look like translating that into legislation? How much legislation is going to be needed to make sure funds are in the right place, people are in the right place, and roadblocks are knocked down?
That's what we're trying to sort through right now. In fact, we may be able to do this simply by executive order and a waiver from the federal government, which we are anticipating. And I think that those two things, once they happen and it settles out, we'll determine whether or not we have to adjust the statutes or the laws. But I'll tell you something else that's missing too. Look, we appointed Richard Nelson to head the Louisiana Community and Technical School System, which I think is a great thing. He's going to do a phenomenal job. Him and Susie are working side by side. He's also working in conjunction with our four-year universities, so that again, no one is duplicating. Right? We're not going out there looking for the same people are trying to compete against them. We all want to operate as one team, making sure that we match the jobs with the workforce.
Yes. I had some good one-on-one time with Richard last week, and it was amazing when he was put in charge of revenue. It seemed like a good match. This seems like an even better match.
Oh, it is. I tell you this. I pulled up a quote the other day. Abraham Lincoln once said that the best way to predict the future is to create it, and that's what I think we're doing here. We're just creating it.
We got Governor Jeff Landry on with us for just a couple more minutes. All right, this is a big deal tomorrow. We got a groundbreaking going on. Tell me a little bit about what you're expecting tomorrow, and then timeline it out beyond that from, like we said, announcement to application.
Again, what we're going to do is we're going to have the Hyundai execs all the way from South Korea into Louisiana, going to be down in Donaldsonville for the opening of the 50,000 square foot, $30 million training center. again, it's the River Parishes Community College, and what they did was they partnered with Hyundai so that they can send their folks to the Hyundai training, so that Hyundai can send their folks to that training facility to ensure that those people are trained to the skills that Hyundai needs as they move from phase to phase and getting ready to open that steel mill. So from construction to beginning to start it up, then to operation. Like at each one of those phases, what are the skills that we need, and how are we matching those skills with the job opportunities that are out there?
So from there, I'm assuming that things should time out to where, like, once folks are trained, we're going to start to see the steel mill opening up.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Look, the steel mill. Look, they are moving forward. I mean, look, we got the air permit has been filed. We get that done. They're going to start driving pilings. You know, I think I'm hoping that we can get the air permit done by June, no later than July, August, and then you're going to start to see activity. I mean, the only reason there's not activity today, Brian, this is important, is because there's some crazy rule that said if you are a major discharge, if you have to file for a major air discharge permit, you cannot even start construction. You can't drive a piling. You can't pour any concrete until you get that permit. So that permit's been filed. We're working through the process. We'll get them granted, and then you start to see dirt moving.
Got a couple minutes. I've got 3 minutes left with Governor Jeff Landry, and I greatly appreciate your time this morning. I know it's a busy time right now. What are next steps? What are the next grouping of jobs that we're looking for? If Hyundai's going to manufacture the steel here, would next be trying to get them to build the cars here too?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, look, I don't know. Here's what I'm looking at. I think that right next door. Don't take your eyes off the fact that right next door, CF Industries is spending a couple of billion or $4 billion on an ammonia plant. Again, that's another component to some of the things that we've got going on down the river. We've got logistics. We've got to move that steel back and forth. The question as to whether or not they build cars here in Louisiana, not depends upon the demand for new car centers.
That's true.
But I can tell you this: having the supply chain closer to us gives us more opportunity to be able to attract the manufacturing for the finished product.
Right. Success begets success. If we do this right, we'll get to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, come on now. We gotta walk before we can run.
Exactly. Well, and look, looking at the last 50 years, it's a lot of rebuilding that needs to get done. So beggars can't be choosers. I'm not going to be picky about what's landing here, because the announcements that we're already talking about they supersede the state's median income by a lot.
Well, and I think that's a great point as well. Look, we're starting to see real income rise. I mean, look, up in Lincoln Parish, where we went and did that microchip facility. I mean, and we've got so many small wins that when you stack them up, they all become huge wins as well. Like up there, I think it was like 200 jobs with an average salary is like $88,000, when the average salary in that parish was 33,000 before, or 38,000 before. I mean, think about that. Those are life transforming opportunities for people in those parishes. And so again, that is going to continue to reverberate across the state. And what I like about it is that we're able to bring projects to all different portions of the state. And if you've got them all going on at the same time, everybody is going to feel it. It doesn't matter where you are. He is Governor Jeff Landry. We greatly appreciate a couple minutes this morning. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Brian. Take care. You too. Talk to you soon. 7:30 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Announcement to application. That was, I hope he steals that, because that's where we're at right now. All right, we've had billions upon billions upon billions of dollars worth of jobs promised to us. Now's the hard part, the implementation. So a lot of that happens tomorrow with the groundbreaking on the training facility. Here's news. Oh. He better steal that. There's your featured for today. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Cramp. Brian Haldane rolling. Brian Haldane. Glug, glug, glug. A lot of Washington Mardi Gras kicked off with Governor Jeff Landry. A lot of Washington Mardi Gras kicked off.
else you say, Ross? Kind of have the crud. So glad to have you back on. Back to when you were first elected. I was Washington Mardi Gras. I don't know how we don't all get COVID every year. It's 10,000 people from roughly the same place under the same roof, halfway across the country.
Good morning.
Good morning, honey. How are you?
Good.
I just started a fresh pot
Oh,
for you.
good. I'm good for right now.
I'm ready for you.
Fresh. So not the same old.
Okay, Arrigo has admitted I'm right. Yep, I thought so. I really have to stop doubting myself. Like, I always work under the assumption that somebody knows more than me. Like, for example, yesterday when Scott McKay said Dixon McMakin just moved into the district, that's not true. Dixon's lived there since he got married. He got married just right around 2 years ago. Like, he didn't move in the district after announcing he was running in the 5th. He lived in the district already. And oh, by the way, Dixon grew up in St. Aloysius Parish. So, like, that's I got to stop doubting myself. Could she sound a little bit like
After my husband died.
just without emotion, like completely? My name is Whitney, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, like Whitney, give a shit. He was your husband. Glad I have this check now.
My name was Whitney. My husband died. Renee, I thought the same thing. Poor Abby.
What?
Renee, she said I thought the same thing. Poor Abby. Talking about that commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, Lord.
I have some numbers we can discuss
Okay.
from year end.
Okay, good. Yeah. (736) Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I can now officially correct my correction. All right, Breland, go back to top stories and trending when you were talking about the National Prayer Breakfast this morning.
Yes.
And I said that was the same hotel where the attempted assassination of Ronald Reagan was. I got corrected on that, but I was right. I got to stop doubting myself. Like, sometimes I know things. Every once in a while, I'll get one right. I got to know when I've got one right. But yeah, we'll go ahead and correct the correction. Back to the original. That was the same hotel.
Huh.
So, yeah. The whole, I forgot the duck. That was, so. Anyway, putting a button on that. Also, great conversation with the governor just now. I love talking governance. I hate talking politics, right? It's an inevitable part of the job. I understand that. But when we could talk about where we're going in a positive manner, when we could talk about actually accomplishing goals along the way, give me that conversation all day long. It sets up for a brighter tomorrow. So, God, so good. If you missed it, it'll be available on demand at talk1073.com after the show is over with. Right now, it is time to catch some bad guys. Let's go. Yes, it is time for Crime Stoppers, and for the first time in a hot minute, we got Don Coppola back in studio. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing very well. First of all, I appreciate you, taking a week off last week because
You were out. You were in Washington.
Washington,
Mardi Gras.
It does. It takes precedence. A lot of work gets done.
Well,
and we get to talk to a lot of people we don't normally get to talk to. So,
and you do a great job.
Thank you.
I know they appreciate it and look forward to it every year.
Absolutely, we do. Yep. Week before that though was I here. So
yes,
it's been a minute. Hey, we're a full month into 2026. Have y'all added up numbers yet on how we did in 2025?
We did.
I apologize for the microphone. It's just to keep running.
I don't know what's going on with this.
Nope, that's worse.
That's worse.
That's
there
we go. All
right. Yes. So if you don't know, or for those who don't know, because of the way our paydays fall, we're always a month behind on our stats.
Yeah.
But I do have numbers from last year.
Okay.
And we talk, call 344-STOP, the P3 Tips app.
There you go. So
Thank you so much. And people may question, does this program really work? Yes, it does. And I have some numbers here. So for last year, January to December, Crime Stoppers assisted in solving 133 felony crimes, 182 total arrests made. We assisted in recovering over $505,000 in stolen property, around $335,000 in illegal narcotics seized, $840,000 in total property and narcotics, and we paid out $74,600 in rewards last year.
Unbelievable.
Who do we pay those to? I couldn't tell you.
Right.
Why? Because Crime Stoppers is anonymous. Since inception from 1982, we paid out over $2.6 million.
That's an incredible number when you stop and think about it. That's a really incredible number. The 74,000 last year. How does that do? You know how that stacks up to previous years, or have we not gone back?
So
to do this
as
side by
far
side?
comparing that to 2024, it's a little less.
Yeah.
And
Well, to be fair,
2024,
crime was down across the board last year.
crime
So there were
was
going to be
down.
fewer crimes to report upon. So
Right.
it's actually it's not a bad thing that
No, we're right on course, and I can
Yeah.
tell you that our calls that have come in,
Yeah.
were increased in 2025 compared to 2024.
Mhm.
But yeah, and to think that the majority of our funding comes from fundraisers, donations. I mean, this is incredible to pay out this amount of money.
Absolutely.
As far as the breakdown, 5 homicides across the capital region area.
Really?
Now with homicides, they're a little bit different because we pay upon indictment on homicides. So it's not the arrest, it's the indictment of
Okay.
a particular person. And then we have the first 48 as well, which we recently implemented, where if you give us that information within the first 48 hours of a homicide occurring, then you get double what we usually pay
Right.
on that. Narcotic cases, 32, 41 fugitives. So our fugitives and narcotics are usually the higher of.
Yeah.
We had a couple arsons, a few, other crimes that we assisted in solving. But, if you ever doubted that, does this program really work? Yes, it does. And the numbers speak for that.
You said 41 fugitives?
Around 41 fugitives.
Around 41 fugitives. Every week when Don and I sit down, to do this, we talk about different fugitives that, they're going to be pictures up on their Facebook page, pictures up on the Capital Region Crime Stoppers on their website as well. Just the redirect to get eyeballs on actual images is netting results. And Don, I got to tell you, $505,000 worth of stolen, $500,000 worth of stolen property returned back to its owners, or found and returned back to its owners. Look, as a guy who loves scrolling through Nextdoor to troll people,
yes,
like the legitimacy of how many people on Nextdoor are like, this guy walked up my driveway and stole this. Well, you actually got your stuff back to the tune of $500,000. And granted, that's not everybody, but that's $500,000 worth of weed eaters, worth of, riding lawnmowers, worth of, God forbid, a gun stolen out of a car. Like, that's $500,000 worth of your stuff you got back. And exactly. I'm saying, like, the grand you here, not you individually, but just overall.
So as far as our calls, we've had around 2,900 calls last year. Now, those aren't repeat calls.
Right.
Okay. So you may call, you may give us additional information. That just counts the initial call. So 2,900 calls, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, it does. And it speaks to it's being heard. People are using it.
People are using it, and people are just sick and tired. And time again, you hear these tipsters. I'm sick and tired. I can't sit on my front porch. I can't have my kids or grandkids play because I'm afraid that whatever will happen.
Right.
Gunshots, whatever it may be. And so people are utilizing, Crime Stoppers.
Well, and the fact that it's being utilized means that we as a populace are finally stepping up and saying no more.
No more.
That's a big part of it, is we're seeing more and more different avenues, more and more different venues where the people are realizing, hey, the calls are being answered.
Calls are being answered. Action is being taken, and knowing that my identity is safe,
right?
Because I am anonymous. I remain anonymous.
And as much as I love our BRPD and our EBRSO, and as much as I love our law enforcement, it's got to start with us.
It has to start with us.
Law enforcement, by its very nature, is reactive and can only be reactive. We have to be the proactive end that points them in the direction where they go. Their clearance rates will go up. Our property will be returned. Our crimes will be solved if we act. That's the part that infuriates me. Like that, if I'm on Nextdoor, somebody posts on Nextdoor, oh, I just had a big Yeti ice chest stolen out of my backyard. Well, have you reported it to police? No, it doesn't do any good. Well, then just shut up across the board. Right. Yes, it does good. You've got to get a report.
Step.
Right. Yeah.
Or take the step of securing it somewhere where if somebody does look around the house, it's not there.
Yeah.
And so, but as far as something else you mentioned, as far as taking the steps, I want to bring up Beyond Bars program.
Yes, please.
The Crime Stoppers initiative. This Tuesday, 2 days ago, we were at Walker High School.
Okay.
They want us back. We're going back to Terra High School. We're at Woodlawn. So we hit these schools just this month already.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, when can you come back? We want you back. So we feel this is making a difference. We're connecting with the kids. The kids, as we return to these schools, are remembering, recognizing, and welcoming us with open arms.
Mm-hmm.
What more can you ask for? And it's just the little things that they remember. And we hope that before they or a friend or a family member may do something that they may regret and have to pay these negative consequences, they'll remember these talks and go a different way.
Yeah, from a firsthand account of all things.
Absolutely.
Like, from a firsthand, to be able to learn from the source. Hey, for those that don't know, Beyond Bars, it's a program that y'all have been implementing. It's not scared straight.
Not
it's
at
a lot
all.
more heartfelt than that.
It's heartfelt because you have two individuals who are currently incarcerated with Department of Corrections, housed at the State Police Barracks, and they tell their story as far as what they did, the regrets they have from their actions that they took in attempts to help those who may be on the wrong track get back on the right track and have a successful future.
We got about 2 minutes left with Lieutenant Don Coppola. This is our Crime Stopper segment. We do this roughly every Thursday at this time. Rather than tracking down bad guys this morning, did you have anybody you want to go get?
I just wanted to mention real quick, Baton Rouge Police is investigating a hit and run involving an adolescent. January 26th, around 6 p.m., a 12-year-old was riding his bike on North Foster near Hollywood Street when he was struck by a vehicle. This adolescent is still hospitalized, severe injuries. The driver of this unknown vehicle that struck him fled, didn't stop to offer any assistance or render any aid. So if anybody has any information on that, give us a call, 344-STOP, P3 Tips app, or go to our website, crimestoppers225.com.
That story was all over the news.
Yes.
And it does not need to be, it needs some attention, needs some, because North Foster and Hollywood is not, that's not an abandoned site. That's a lot of eyeballs could have been around it. With 60 seconds to go, though, before we're going to break here, let's preview Mardi Gras. We all know what the trappings can be. So
yeah. So this weekend and next weekend, parades around here. What we don't want is a repeat of East Feliciana, but we did have a lot of Crime Stopper tips that came in with that, and arrests are being made. So you guys are doing a great job.
You know what? Capital Region.
Yeah, that's us.
Right. Yep.
That's us. Absolutely. But no, just arrive early. Get your spot wherever you're gonna stay or sit at. If you plan to indulge in alcoholic beverages, have a designated plan. Stay safe and just enjoy yourself.
344-STOP is the phone number for anything, any crime that you have witnessed or pieces of the puzzle along the way. And of course, there's the P3 Tips app. He's Lieutenant Don Coppola. We do Crime Stoppers this time every week. Always appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, I need you to hang
tight. It doesn't get better than that, does it?
Do you like that?
Hang tight for 1 second. Let me look at my calendar. I keep a paper calendar.
Yeah, let's do that because I want to. Yeah. Because hey, let me tell you what happened, Brian. So Johnny, are we off?
Turn the mics off, please. How's it going?
Good. How are you? Yeah.
Hello. Good morning.
Where'd Don go?
Get coffee. You want to go see Joe Biden?
All right.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yes.
I can check the color of my skin.
Oh look.
I don't mind.
See Brian, he gets the coffee.
How about one of those 3 dates?
Yep, I'll pass them on.
Cool.
And
That's perfect.
8:15 to 9.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, I will let you know.
I don't want to do it too early because it's more storytelling, so it can't be early in the show when it's more news cycle, you know?
Yeah, whatever good for you.
All right.
All right. Hope you get to feeling better.
Yeah, thank you. I feel fine.
Tell
It's
him
just
to go get a shot.
Yeah, go get a shot. Knock it out.
it's not natural.
I
I
mean,
know, but
listen.
it'll get you to be
I
able
mean,
to
I know neither's the Tito's that I drink, but like it's I don't know.
What, you just think of Tito's and a shot together?
I know a shot of Tito's and a shot.
Actually, all I need right now is for the brain fog to go away.
I mean,
I feel
if
fine.
you want to put that music on while the nurse gives you the shot, whatever.
Bye, Don.
What y'all looking for? Come this way and then to the right. You're welcome. $7:55 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Give me just a second to remind you about the folks over at 180 Pros, 180pros.com. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. They go to great lengths to base their success off of your success. Yes, anybody who's certified and shows you their certifications can build out your IT network and manage your IT network. There's a lot of folks that'll show you their verifications or their qualifieds when it comes to cybersecurity. What you get with 180 Pros is that back and forth, being able to have a relationship to where you get same-day response time. That's not always guaranteed. Where you get simplified billing rather than being nitpicked up and down the aisle. When you can call 330-2200. Of course, it's 225 because they're right here locally. 330-2200 to get a hold of your partners at 180 Pros. If it's time for your IT network to do a 180, visit 180pros.com. All right. Thanks to Don Coppola for hopping on board. Next hour, we've got Senator Bill Cassidy. We've also got Bally's and the Queen in here as we're starting to look towards the Super Bowl this coming Sunday. Speaking of Super Bowls, Drew Brees has won one of those. Drew Brees has been the NFL Offensive Player of the Year twice. He's a 5-time All-Pro. And before it's all said and done, we're going to be calling him a Hall of Famer. Tonight, the NFL will announce the Pro Football Hall of Fame class for this year. Don't know if Brees is in that yet, but he's expected to be amongst in that number, as I heard friends at Louisiana Radio Network put it. Luke Johnson covers the Saints for The Advocate. He spoke with LRN, says it would be shocking if Brees is not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Cut 13, please.
When you look back at the history of the NFL, you cannot tell it without saying Drew Brees' name.
The level of precision from just his surgical precision in passing, the number of the stats, the touchdowns, the yards, all of it combined. I mean, Brees was in the NFL for 20 seasons, threw for 80,000 yards, 571 touchdowns. Only Tom Brady threw for more yards and TDs, and Brady outlasted him by a couple of years because Brees had the arm thing towards the end. Drew Brees holds the record for the highest career completion percentage because precision. Johnson says while the numbers are impressive, the impact that Brees had on the Saints franchise is immeasurable.
He played such a huge part in taking an organization that had experienced almost no winning in its history and taking it to its only Super Bowl championship, to this sustained run of success.
Forget about the winning for just a second. His role in the rebuild of New Orleans, his role in choosing New Orleans in the immediate, when mud was still piled up, when you were seeing spray paint on front doors that said "One Dead" in attic. His role in choosing this city and being a leader in one of the most pivotal times in recent New Orleans history. I mean, that speaks volumes as to his character. We can get back into the winning and losing. We can get back into the stats. We can get back into all that if you want to. But just the dude that is a first ballot Hall of Famer. So the class of 2026 is going to be introduced during tonight's NFL Honors Program. Also tonight, we're going to find out if linebacker Demario Davis is going to be awarded NFL Man of the Year. Johnson says quarterback Tyler Shuck. He's up for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Probably won't get that because he only played for a limited amount of time this season.
It was a credit to him, to the fact that he's really put himself in the conversation and is one of the finalists for this, despite only starting 9 games and despite not having these overwhelming stats.
If we'd gone to Shuck sooner. As a Saints fan, just the level of regret that I have. When you ran Spencer Rattler out there to start off the season, it just made sense. He had earned it, blah, blah, blah. But if Shuck had started the whole season, could you imagine? We're talking like a difference of 2 more wins gets us in the playoffs. Unreal. NFL Honors coming up tonight. All right, we got the top of the hour breathing down our necks. Going to visit this day in history on our way back in. Senator Bill Cassidy after that, and then we start getting ready for the Super Bowl with Bally's and the Queen. back. We're good. We'll be good to go. What is this all about? Why do we get a bunch of beer from Parish Brewing? Huh? I like a good cane break. Pescador Cerveza Lime. I don't like that. I don't know.
I like Cerveza Lime.
That might. If it belongs to somebody, I don't want it to grow legs, you know?
You froze again. You were like,
All right.
oh shit. Damn. You know what? Screw it. Ridiculous.
.806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. Getting ready for a busy third hour. We're gonna get you ready for the Super Bowl at the bottom of the hour. Or 8:35. We got the guys in from Bally's, which is now open, running, fully functional. We'll do a little prep for that. We're probably gonna eat a little bit too, Bree Lynn. I don't know if you know that, but they got.
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're gonna be pretty well.
I've
fed.
had the food at the Queen.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Well,
It's really good,
well,
actually.
James is here. He's the F&B director, and
Okay.
we're gonna be pretty well taken care of. But it's just a preview of what they've got going on over there at the just in the Government Street. Boop boop boop, right there, just a couple blocks away. 8 blocks away? So
We can walk to it if we wanted to.
Well, 35 degrees in downtown. But yeah, we absolutely could. Before that, though, Senator Bill Cassidy slated to join us in our next segment. We got a lot to talk about here. I was doing this thing yesterday. I don't know if you call it a rant or whatever, but I was talking yesterday about the hit ad, right? Which did not come from the senator. It comes from a PAC. Okay. So no, we're not going to talk about the hit ad. But what I was talking about in my quote unquote rant was, if I'm Senator Cassidy, the way I'm campaigning right now is I'm going city to city, town to town, saying these are the raw numbers. This is what I'm bringing home to you. $5 million in the city of Covington for expansion of Highway 190. $5 million goes here. $5 million. There was a $1.3 billion announcement yesterday. We're going to break that down, and probably a few other things as well. So Senator Bill Cassidy coming up at 8:15, which means we need to hurry up and get to this day in history.
All right, back in the year 1919, Hollywood Film Studio United Artists, founded by Charlie Chapman, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford. It was founded, Hollywood Film Studio, way back when.
Cool.
1971, Apollo 14. It was the third U.S. manned moon expedition.
Excellent.
The astronauts were able to walk on the moon for 4 hours.
Okay.
1998, jumping way ahead, first primetime network televised wrestling match in 30 years. Andre the Giant defeats Hulk Hogan.
Which was this?
It was the first just primetime network. It doesn't say what network.
What year?
1988.
Okay.
1992, the jury selection begins in the trial of Los Angeles police charged with the beating of Rodney King.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. 2004, the whole debacle with her, Janet Jackson and her bosoms became the most searched image in net history. Jackson's thing was seen by millions on TV after Justin Timberlake pulled it out.
Everyone refers to it as the wardrobe malfunction.
The wardrobe malfunction,
as if it were on accident.
Right.
As if it weren't completely scripted.
There.
As if the lyrics don't actually say, I'm going to have you naked by the end of this song. You can't tell me it's not. I mean, I know we're like a decade removed, right? But you can't tell me if the lyrics say, I'm going to have you naked by the end of this song. And then, whoop, there's the booby.
And that comes out.
Yeah.
Yep. On February 5th, 2006, NFL officials announced that the New Orleans Saints would return that fall to the Louisiana Superdome.
Probably, Condon and I were talking about this yesterday. Probably obviously the forming of the franchise is the biggest day in the franchise history. This has got to be top 3. It's got to go forming of the franchise, Super Bowl win. When the Saints returned, this was very much in question because Tom Benson had dealings in San Antonio. They played 3 games at Tiger Stadium that year. The first game at Tiger Stadium, people were throwing garbage at Tom Benson. He said he was never coming back, and we didn't know if that meant never coming back to Baton Rouge or never coming back to the state of Louisiana because he could have very easily packed up and gone to San Antonio.
Bye.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was being lobbied hard by the people of San Antonio.
Woo.
Yeah.
In 2024, King Charles III diagnosed with cancer, according to Buckingham Palace.
Okay.
Queen Camilla takes on his public duties while he receives treatment. I remember that.
Okay.
Let's see. 2018, American singer-songwriter Paul Simon announces his farewell tour.
Okay.
That's all I got. What about you?
I got a couple on here. The first of which is it was on this day in 2020 that the president was acquitted in his first impeachment. It was on this day in 2017. Never ever miss a chance to mention this one. This day in 2017, in the first overtime game in Super Bowl history, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots overcame a 25-point deficit to beat the Atlanta Falcons. This was the 28-3 game.
Man.
Yeah. 34-28 your final score. Bite me, Atlanta.
Birthdays. Cristiano Ronaldo, he is 41 today. Kevin Gates is 40. Bobby Brown, 57.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. What about
That's all you got?
Hold on, let me look.
All right, hang on, because there's a lot more here.
Let me look. Michael Sheen, 56.
Who?
No clue.
Okay.
I know he's a movie actor.
All right. Michael Mann, director Michael Mann was born on this day in 1943. Actress Laura Linney, I love her in Ozark.
Laura Linney.
Yeah,
yes.
she was
I
born on
watched
this day
Ozark
in 1964. Talking soccer players, you mentioned Ronaldo, but you didn't mention Neymar, born on this day in 1992. From football, it's Roger Staubach's birthday. From baseball, Roberto Alomar, and I'm not leading with the biggest birthday in baseball on this day. Hank Aaron, born on this day in 1934, Hammer and Hank. And by the way, going back to actors, how about Tim Meadows is 65 years old today?
Okay. Deaths on this day.
Oh, wait. Whoa. I got one more big birthday. Big New Orleans birthday today.
Okay.
Born on and we're going to see if you know who this is. Born on this day in 1927, Ruth Fertel.
Sounds very familiar, but I do not know.
Ruth Fertel, as in Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Whoa.
Ruth Fertel, born on this day in 1927.
Oh, those states are so good.
Yeah.
Man.
There's no debate with me. That's my favorite.
Yep, mine too. All right. Deaths on this day. He is known for his role in Spartacus. American actor Kirk Douglas passed away on this day at the age of 103.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Unfortunate death on this day. One of my favorites, Toby Keith, dies of stomach cancer at the age of 62.
When was that?
2024, and I cried like a baby.
I didn't even realize Toby Keith died.
Yep, he passed away.
Oh my goodness.
Who else do you have?
That's all.
All right, National Day today. It is National Chocolate Fondue Day.
I got National Weather Person's Day. So
let's go with yours.
All right. That is this day in history. We are due up for a break. Going to have Senator Bill Cassidy on the back end of the break. Hey, before we take that break, want to remind you about the folks at Mathern's. Mathern's at Kenilworth, y'all. King Cake headquarters. You're going to find all the greatest from all around converging on one spot. When you talk about specialty king cakes, let's talk about Nona Randazzo. Let's talk about Haydell. Let's talk about Kaluta. Let's talk about Joe's Cafe. We got a Joe's Cafe one in the house. It was before I went up to Washington Mardi Gras. Got to tell you, it's one of those donut king cakes, deep fried. Oh, but it's so good. And of course, they've got their own, whether you like it original, whether you like it filled. Mathern's has got you covered. Your king cake headquarters is Mathern's at Kenilworth. And as we move towards the parades, which are coming up this weekend, we'll have Artemis, we'll have Orion. Don't forget Mathern's downtown. When you're on the route, anything you forgot, anything you ran out of, they're right there nestled in between 3rd and 4th, one block off the parade route. It's Mathern's.
Hey, good morning, Senator. We're going to come to you in about 2 minutes. Okay. I got it right this time. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Bill.
Don't call him Billy. Oh, my goodness gravy. Where's the prep for the next segment? $8:17 Talk World 73 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Time to get caught up with Senator Bill Cassidy. He's on the hotline right now. Been a busy man. Senator, how are you, sir?
I'm doing really good, Brian Haldane. Great to see you at DC Mardi Gras.
We didn't even get to talk though. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to post up outside the suite. But you were like a man on a mission. I've never seen you move that fast. There was a lot going on.
When Louisiana comes to Washington, D.C., it's a perfect opportunity to do good things for my state and for my nation. And so it's just a place to make connections. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and you had a stack of meetings going on in and out. No, by the way, still holding down the gig as, our U.S. Senator, no big deal amidst it, right?
No big deal. No, a big deal. A big deal to serve the people of Louisiana, and I take it very seriously.
We got Senator Bill Cassidy on with us. A lot of news breaking out of your office recently with some of the work you've been doing. Can we start with a little bit of help on prescription drugs?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody is concerned about the high cost of prescription drugs. And so if you look at the kind of affordability issue, the cost of medications is at the top. So in the process, when you buy a prescription, it's passed through multiple hands, so to speak. And every one of them's taken a little bit off the top.
Yep.
Now, the person that ultimately pays is you. When you buy that script, you're paying sometimes 100%, 200%, 300%, 400% more than the actual cost of the drug coming from the drug company because of all these middlemen. What we're doing, we're just flattening that. We're squeezing that. All those dollars go back to the person paying for the insurance, the employer, the patient, all that. President Trump just signed it into law. I worked on it all last year. He just signed it into law. That's going to help lower the cost of drugs.
Can we get into the nuts and the bolts of it a little bit? We got a lot of ground to cover, so I don't want to go too deep. But it's if you're reining in the middlemen, the question of how comes up.
Okay, so when a pharmaceutical company goes to an insurance company called a pharmacy benefit manager, the drug may cost $1,000, but the pharmacy benefit manager will demand a rebate, and so they'll say, okay, we want you to charge us $4,000. And then when the patient pays for it, they pay an extra $3,000, and then we are going to take that $3,000 back and put it in the pocket of the pharmacy benefit manager. So when you buy a drug, a new drug, a name brand drug, it is marked up a lot higher than what the drug company sells it for, and it's called a rebate because the money rebates back to the drug company. The insurance company. We're squeezing that. We're saying whatever the rebate is, it has to pass to the person actually paying for the insurance. The employer, if they're providing the insurance, you just can't do that anymore. That's going to lower the cost of these drugs for the person ultimately paying.
It's a shell game.
It is a shell game, but it's a shell game that takes the money out of the pocket of the small businesswoman and the small businessman and the person they employ. And I'm a doctor.
Right.
So when you see patients struggling to pay for the cost of their medication, and you recognize that a lot of the money that they're paying isn't for the drug itself, the drug's cheaper.
Right.
It's the rebate, the premium that is going to the middleman. That's what we're squeezing.
So how do we set that up? That's the one more follow up, and then we'll get on to some other funding packages heading to the president's desk.
We demand, it was my provision, that whatever extra is charged over the actual cost of the medication has to flow back to the employer or the patient who is employed.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're actually going to pay the price coming from the pharmaceutical company, not the premium that the PBM is demanding be rebated back to them. And so it's going to just pass it through. Any extra money paid goes back to the people actually paying for the policy, and that's the employer and the people they employ.
Okay, so with this hitting, if I'm reading you right, this hitting on both ends. It's going to lower cost on the front end, and in the rebate on the back end would go back to where it's supposed to go to. So
yes.
You were going to see lower on the start and still money back on the backside.
Yes.
Okay.
And so squeezing that middleman and making sure that if you're paying for your insurance, you're not paying extra for the profits of an insurance company.
Oh, gotta love that. It's one of those ones, Senator, that makes you wonder how it got that way in the first place.
Because it's all hidden, it's all opaque. We do a lot of other things for price transparency to make sure that the employer can look and see what things actually cost, as opposed to just having to accept from the insurance company that this is how much it does cost. And we found when there is that when you can't see the price, people jack it up. When you see the price comes down. We're making sure that people buying the insurance can see the price.
We got Senator Bill Cassidy with us, talk about a little bit of the things that he's working on Capitol Hill right now. Another one, and I did half a segment on this yesterday, Senator, headed to the president's desk right now. Right, maybe it's even signed by now. I don't even know. But $1.3 billion for Louisiana in a funding package. At the time of the press release, it was headed to the president's desk. Is it still sitting there?
Yeah, it has been signed into law.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So break this down for us. not going to ask you to itemize it. Not going to line item this thing because it's huge.
It is huge. So just speaking of infrastructure in the Baton Rouge area, there's $6 million going to Ascension Parish to raise Airline Highway to prevent flooding. We got a big issue in our state. Part of it is management of water. So in Ascension Parish, let's bring some relief to the people down there. There's about $5 million going for a drainage canal near LSU because LSU floods. There's more money for Livingston Parish for the Browns Road improvement. Again, how do you increase capacity? How do you increase safety? My wife says that roads are a mother's issue because the mom is the one who's driving to get her child from school, to the soccer park, from the soccer park, as well as going to work. And she's killing time away from her family because the roads don't have capacity. Livingston Parish has been booming. So this is part of what helps Livingston Parish manage all those extra people living there. Or in Ascension Parish, again, same thing, a parish rapidly growing. How do we help the folks living there have a better quality of life? This is part of it.
Senator Bill Cassidy is our guest, talking about this $1.3 billion worth of funding package that's headed to Louisiana. $2 million headed to St. George in there as well for some improvements on Burbank. And you just encapsulated the transportation into this. There's more.
There is more. So Louisiana is critical to defending our country. And so we have money going for all of the military installations in our state, as well as to the Louisiana National Guard. It's Belle Chase Naval Reserve Station. It is Fort Polk, and it's Barksdale, helping those places be better equipped to defend our country. And in the case of the Louisiana National Guard, to provide relief to our state during times of like hurricanes. And so think of how many times you've seen the Guard out there when things were desperate, making it better for us all. And so this is money to the Louisiana National Guard as well to complete their mission on a state level, but we also know they can be mobilized on a national level. I went to church with a guy in the Guard, mobilized to go overseas at one point. So it's all about defending our country and our state as well.
Last one before we get you out of here, and I know you got a scooch, and I appreciate you carving out a couple minutes this morning. But all these dollars, $1.3 billion, what does it look like to get it implemented? Like, what's our timeline here to get from D.C. back into some Louisiana accounts?
You know, it always depends upon how quickly the agencies release the money. Mm-hmm. I worked on the $1.3 billion coming to our state for making sure that everyone has access to high-speed, affordable internet. And that was in the bipartisan infrastructure bill. I think I was the only Republican that voted for it, but I knew our state needed that money. And by the way, it was paid for. The Trump administration has just released that money. So it's taken 4 to 5 years. I will push to make sure that this money gets out faster than that because we need it for our state. We need it for our nation. And so things get tied up. By golly, we're going to push to get it out as fast as possible.
He is Senator Bill Cassidy. I know you got a scooch. I do appreciate you carving out a couple minutes on a busy morning.
Thanks, Brian.
Always. Absolutely. You know what? I heard something on the back end of there that we're going to need to revisit. Probably not today. We'll put it in tomorrow's rundown for sure. But did you catch that on the back end where talking about critical high-speed internet infrastructure? And it was more than, I think there was $1 billion he signed off on there. He says he's the only Republican in Louisiana to vote for it. I find that interesting because, and maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm going down the wrong rabbit hole here. But when we talk about conservative voting records, when we talk about who's voting with the president most often or with the Republican Party most often, as this race unfolds, when we're talking about voting records, we need to make sure that if someone has on their voting record something that doesn't jive with the party, right, it's going to be thrown at them negatively. But I would argue that bringing dollars home for internet infrastructure is a good thing for Louisiana. How many times have we talked with Vineeth Iyengar about the leadership that we have in Louisiana, setting the pace for the the next generation of communication? making sure that rural Louisiana isn't left out when it comes to the, being connected to the connectivity. How many times have we talked about, I glibly, one of the times we had Governor Landry on, we were talking about his involvement, his investment, like picking up the baton and running with it and running even faster, where like the whole high-speed internet thing started under John Bell Edwards, and Jeff Landry took it to another level. And I kind of made the quip, look, Huey Long built roads. Jeff Landry's going to build an information superhighway like that. But in doing that, in casting that vote, that's a vote that's going to go against Senator Cassidy when it comes to his quote-unquote conservative voting record. And by the way, same is going to be true of Julia Letlow. When you're breaking this down, you're going to find that from time to time, something that's looking like, a red flag might actually be a green flag when it comes to serving the state. So just something I took note of. Let me remind you before we break about One Bath and Closets, 400-8005. Of course, that phone number is 225 for the area code. One Bath and Closets. Give your bathroom a good look. Give your closet in your master bedroom a good look. Is it time for an upgrade? Are you making the most of your space? David Duvall and his team at One Bath and Closets, this is what they specialize in. My wife and I went full on, redid the master bath, and could not be happier with the outcome. If you want to learn more, visit onebathandclosets.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, bathandclosets.com, or just give David a call and chat. 225-400-8003. All right. Let me move this table over so we can set stuff down on it.
Put it out.
Yeah, just set out. We're gonna hand everything over to Bree Lynn, and she's gonna put it up. We only have the one camera.
Oh,
That's so.
Look, this is more for y'all.
We're a radio show who broadcasts on Facebook and YouTube.
Just point me where you
as opposed to up right here. Right.
Yeah, put it right here. I'll show it all on camera. Yeah. For whatever reason, it is not recognizing this camera in StreamYard. I'll have to restart the whole video, but I'm not doing it right now.
No. So are we on this camera instead? Well, then turn your lights on over there to make sure it all shows up.
What you got there, James? You got a burger.
Bally's burger, roast beef po' boy, and boudin balls.
All right, let's see, y'all.
Try it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it on.
Like I said, if it's not a picturesque, more so for y'all to.
Yeah, it's more for y'all to eat than it's more for y'all to eat than show on a camera, by all means.
There y'all go. Boudin balls. There we go.
Yeah, to-go boxes kind of take away the presentation.
I love it though.
And by the way, we're always on Facebook Live, so
Okay.
but yeah,
Okay,
our
now, fellas,
Facebook
what is
crew, they're
this
savage.
on the wrap?
So.
What is this one?
Oh, what did they give me?
Roast beef po' boy.
Yeah, that's a roast beef po' boy.
Well,
Oh, y'all. You can tell the
They
juice
wrapped
is
it.
coming out.
Yeah,
of
they
the
wrapped
wrapper.
it. I was like, they give me a
So my
wrap.
wife last time she was talking, being on Facebook all the time, and I must have had like a stoic look on my face, and she was like, "He smiles."
That burger looks good.
It's the Bally's burger.
we're gonna have to cut
Oh,
that
the
in half and
Bally's
split it.
burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. The Bally's burger. I love it.
Bally's burger.
Bally's burger. We had a bacon cheeseburger the other day. It's like that tall.
Good Lord.
Yeah, you have to like smush it down. It's really good.
Imagine.
It does. You have to like smush it all together.
All right.
We need,
Perfect.
yeah, we need to find some ways to collaborate.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
We always have stuff going on. So
Yeah,
we got
I know,
content
but
coming.
like I know, like hey, kill mics for a second. .837 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Super Bowl weekend coming up this weekend. We're going to talk with the folks from Bally's about that in just a second, but I do need to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes. IndustryMakes.org is their home base online. Who is Industry Makes? Well, they're a campaign born out of collaboration and a need to present a united industrial front in the face of coordinated anti-industrial messaging. And Industry Makes they understand that anti-industrial messages may target one company or several, but they hurt the entire manufacturing industry in Louisiana, which is the economic backbone of the state. I mean, think about it. From the shoes on your feet to products essential to healthcare, Louisiana's industries are in the business of making it all. If you want to learn more, visit industrymakes.org. IndustryMakes.org. And remember, let others make noise. We'll make everything else. So, Super Bowl coming up this weekend. And honestly, like, I'm just using this as an excuse to get the guys from Bally's in here because since it has reopened, we haven't had a chance to chat yet. Daniel, James, welcome aboard. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great, man.
Wonderful.
Glad to have y'all in here. All right, let's get started with the finished product. How are things looking?
Yeah, fantastic. You know, I so many people that come out and they knew us as it was Catfish Town, it was this atrium, and they come out, they see us the first time, they walk in, they're like, whoa.
Right.
Man, y'all did it.
Oh,
You know?
because I mean, the atrium has been what it's been for like how many years? Well, since Okay, rewind the clock way back to the failure that was Catfish Town. But then the atrium itself has been used for so many different things along the way. But it was kind of like stuck in like a early 90s vibe. Like you walk, like late 80s, early 90s vibe. It's just been stuck there forever.
We opened that time capsule and man, again, people walk in and they're like, whoa. I remember the first whoa that my wife and I had when we first walked in there, and it was stuck in the 1980s, and we were like, okay. And we saw the renderings, and I got to tell you, we did what we said we were going to do in those pictures.
It's almost breathtaking.
Let's get you right up on the mic.
It's almost breathtaking when you walk in at night. Part of the ceiling opens up, and so you can see outside.
Yeah.
And just the first time, it's really cool. And it opens up in the evening after sundown, and then you walk in. It's almost like we were talking about. Like you walk down to DraftKings, it's like breathtaking, big, massive TV, and it's just like, wow. It's like, and then when I first started in May, it was like just a shell.
Right.
So now it's like you had to walk through with bloopers. Like, I think this is going to be the restaurant, but I'm not sure. I think this is going to be this, but I'm not really sure. And to watch the process was just breathtaking.
Well, and how much of this, once y'all got permission to move on land, how much of this is just, why didn't we get this go ahead sooner? Why this all seems to make so much sense. It's just.
And that was the thing. It was being able to go on land, hard to compete when you have to have that investment on the other side of the river. And we saw the success that we had with the Queen up the street. Right. And we knew the gym that we had on the other side of downtown. And that's why we're so excited about, what does it mean for downtown, how we can transform the space that we have, that we wake up that sleepy corner. So, I think one of the things we got to do football season, that's kind of behind us. It was fun. It wasn't completely open yet. So in December is when we really opened everything else. And now it's Mardi Gras season. And man, to say we get to have the celebration and do it big, and seeing all these crews coming in, and then kicking off in like February, where we have our Throw 200K giveaway, where everybody comes in on Fridays from 5 to 9 p.m. And every half an hour, we're going to be giving away $500 and free slot play, culminating up to the end of the month, where one person will win $25,000 in cash at 10 p.m. on the 28th. So just having fun with Mardi Gras, with all the crews, crew of Artemis, Orion, Romney, all those folks, live DJs on Friday and Saturday. Just the vibe in that place is phenomenal.
We got the guys in from Bally's talking a little bit about being running full speed throughout the Mardi Gras season. You said $500. How often?
So $500 every 30 minutes on Saturdays in February. So from 5 to 9 p.m.
Okay. And that's
180 winners over the promotional period. So.
That's pretty impressive along the way, but there's bigger prizes too.
Yes. So you got the big prize of $25,000 in cash at the end of the promotion on the 28th at 10 p.m. and everybody can participate. So you come out, you get a Bally's rewards card, and we have new member promotions as well. This is just something that we're running to have fun with, throw me 200K with play on the Mardi Gras season.
Well, yeah.
But man, we love our seasons here, not necessarily the weather, whether it be hotter, but we love our seasons, whether it's football, Mardi Gras, and having a place like what we do is fun to celebrate those.
Let's talk about the game floor just a little bit. What's available at Bally's that would be new and exciting?
Yeah, so we have 25,000 square foot of Vegas style gaming, 750 slots, 23 table games. We have our 50-foot TV at DraftKings, which this thing, man, you walk in and I could be playing blackjack on the other end of the casino and have a good seat in the house to watch the game. So incredible there. We have our smoking lounge, Embers, which has table games and slot machines in it as well.
Okay.
But just the old brick that you have on the casino floor from these historic buildings, the beams, it has this truly not just the Vegas size floor, but the Vegas vibe and just something different. It really brings in that modern historical charm with the architecture that we have.
That I don't know if there's a term for like some kind of fusion architecture, but like that's kind of what it is. You're mixing the old with the new.
Correct.
It's a lot of the old brick and everything else. It's definitely not your Vegas style where you walk in and everything's dark. It's the old brick mixed with the new brick and stuff like that. So it's definitely a merge of old and new.
playing on your Dining Depot. So tell them about Dining Depot and kind of the theme there.
Dining Depot is kind of a railroad theme. It's all open kitchen. We have 3 concepts in there. We have Shucks Oyster, which is grilled oysters. You can sit at the bar and watch them, talk to the cooks and everything else.
Nice.
We have Hearth Pizza with 2 brick ovens in there. Open kitchen. You can sit there and have a conversation with the guy cooking your pizza and everything else. We have vintage wine. Vintage 1806 is about a combination, about 100 plus wines by the bottle and some by the glass. We have a maritime. We have in the restaurant itself is a 2-lane bowling alley that you can rent $35
No kidding.
per lane per hour.
Okay.
It's kind of casual. You can make a reservation, come in with your family, come in with a business group or whatever, and have cocktails and pizza and appetizers and just have a nice little bowling time.
Gotta love that.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's an unexpected little surprise.
It is.
It's a little hidden gem.
It's a little hidden. Yeah, it's kind of hidden behind a corner a little bit, but it's a legitimate Brunswick bowling alley with 2 lanes in there. So
very cool stuff. We get the guys in from Bally's in with us. We got Daniel. We got James. Let's talk a little bit about the partnership with the Queen, though, because y'all have. This is one of the things that I've been impressed with along the way. One of the bigger reasons that I'm like so bullish on y'all is because you're part of downtown and you're 2 ends of downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting the 2, collaborating between the 2 is kind of a game changer. Walk me through what y'all are doing for the folks.
Yeah, so it's great is we're basically bookends of downtown, like you mentioned, and we have on each side of River Road. And they're 2 different experiences. You know, when we were putting things together, we wanted different restaurants. We wanted a different feel on the gaming floor. Our guests want options. You know, people downtown, they want options. We have a shuttle service that runs between the properties daily. You know, it starts as early as 11 a.m. and depending on the day and the demand, you know, continues on until the evening. So I may start my journey out over and stay. We have the 1 hotel over at Bally's, and I have that experience, but then I can continue it somewhere else. And I also think about what's in between there. I think about the Arts and Science Museum. I think about the River Center. I think about the old Governor's Mansion. All these things that we create experience, obviously in our walls, but then beyond that, what that means for downtown Baton Rouge. So it's incredible. We looking to connect the city, and we've met a lot of great neighbors, and it's been a whole lot of fun.
Worth noting that shuttle's going to have to hit pause during the parades, though, because the route goes right up River Road.
Absolutely.
So there's going to be a nice little cattle call to be like, if you want to get to the Queen, you got to go now, sort of thing.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, hey, you can have 2 experiences. You're gonna, whether you're coming for the Mardi Gras experience, you're coming for the downtown. This weekend's for the Mardi Gras experience.
I tell you what, though, I didn't even think about this, and I hit y'all with one out of left field. Staging for the parades is right outside.
Right outside the property.
Oh, wow.
Plenty of chairs. So and we have a lot of the crews with Artemis, Orion staying with us.
Yeah.
So the good news is there's a lot of people that are staying on the property. They're right there, so they can just hop on the float and then get going. We will have entry to our property for people coming to check us out. About 30 minutes before the parades start time to run into an hour after, there'll be some disruption around there.
Sure.
But we do have entry on Mayflower to our 5-story parking garage.
Okay.
That will be available around those parade times.
This is going to be the new thing, isn't it?
It's going to be
This is going to be the spot.
Oh,
like right out, like where the statue's at, where the plane's at, that curve in front of the Raising Cane's River Center.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's going to be the spot because you can pop in, pop out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
We're going to have a whole lot of fun.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Before that, well, I should say after Artemis and Orion, there will be Super Bowl Sunday. What's the plan?
We have a buffet, VIP party, I guess you can say. Food, drinks, watch the game. I mean, just have fun doing it.
Yeah. So we have an invite event that we have some of our best casino guests. We bring them, give them prime seating in the front of that 50-foot TV. I will reiterate that about half of our casino, you could see this TV from a great spot. So plenty of space to come in, enjoy James's restaurants over at the Dining Depot. The barge drinks are stellar from there, and be able to sit there and look at the TV. So
even non-gaming, you can still see the TV, sit at the side of the bar. So it's not just for VIPs to come in and watch the game. It's for everybody to come and watch.
Best seat in the house. I'm trying to find a babysitter.
So we got a break coming up in a minute and a half. But so for those that are going to the game, but like let's say you're not on that invite list. Wagers can still be made in the sports book, correct?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Just want to make sure of that, because I mean, even the heaviest of fans can dial out midway through the second quarter, for the Super Bowl.
I hope it's a good one.
Yes, it should be. It should be as well. All right, we got 1 minute till break. Y'all brought some food in for Brie Lynn and I to try. What are we going to dig in on once we hit break?
We have boudin balls.
Okay.
We have a roast beef po' boy, and we have a Bally's burger over there.
What's in the Bally's burger?
It's a mixture of different meats, lettuce, tomato, just a nice thick homemade type burger.
Okay, just old school.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Roast beef po' boy explains itself.
Gravy, roast beef gravy, old school roast beef po' boy.
Debris style?
No, it's sliced with the roast beef.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
sliced roast beef with
we
gravy.
will dig in on that. And boudin ball. Are we talking like
boudin balls?
The big thick ones or the little bitty ones?
Like a
big old, like a fist
baseball,
size.
yeah, like a
Okay.
fist size, yeah.
All right. Well, we got your money now coming on air. We got your money now coming your way here in just a second. We'll check take one more look at traffic on Facebook Live. Of course, we will continue to dig in, do a little taste test on the way back in. We've got Daniel, we've got James from Bally's with us. We will continue in just a little bit. Hey, don't forget, tonight, 7:30 p.m. is airtime. LSU women's basketball taking on Texas at Texas. It's number 4 versus number 5. And Talk 107.3 is your home for Kim Mulkey's Tigers. Here's your money now.
Oh, man.
All right.
I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
No, I don't have a knife. Oh, look, they got one in here, Brian.
Look at that. I put like to go stuff in there.
Just use that one. Yeah, look, and I put some
It's
plates
better
in
than a
for you.
karate chop on it, huh?
Yeah, I can care.
Greasy.
I got
Just tear it
2 boys,
apart.
got 6-year-old twins and an 8-year-old. We don't care.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
You just make it happen.
My chef's got 5.
That's
Chef's
incredible.
got like 5 kids.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, gosh, I've been to the Queen.
You can come out the back.
I need to come out to Bally. So that's 50
We have,
inch
well,
TV.
and we also have
Yeah.
a non-gaming restaurant
yeah.
too, which we didn't really
So
cover.
y'all have blackjack, y'all have poker, y'all have poker tournament. See, I do the
No,
poker
so
tournament.
we're looking to expand on that. All of our games are casino hosted, not player on player, but we're looking. Yeah, there's so much room for expansion. So we'll.
Gotcha. But right now, the Queen does have tournaments, correct? Or they do not.
They do
So the
not.
only the Bears.
The Bears are the only person that has.
I think phase 2, they're looking at stuff like that.
Yeah.
Phase 2.
See, we
So-
love my husband and I. We love doing poker tournaments.
Same. Yeah. Well, look, it was great. Look forward to having y'all come out. We'll reach out to us so we can go and dine.
No, we're not done yet. We're going to do the review on the back end.
Oh,
All right.
yeah, we can go and
I know. I was
do
like,
some.
don't leave.
Yeah, we can go and do some bowling at
Yeah.
the lanes. By the way, if our GM says ask y'all to bowl for money, just say no.
Just say no. He's
Oh.
a, he's a ringer.
When he said he was like a bowler, he's
He's a sandbagger.
like kingpin. He's
Let me show this off real quick because I don't think she unwrapped it.
Here, look, I want to try this boudin ball.
Does it have the cheese in it?
I did not show
Is
off
it
the football
cheese
yet.
in it or no?
Crap,
The
so
boudin
far.
ball?
No, the boudin balls, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We put her down. We got some good.
Joe Biden.
They bought the hell out of this. This spot is taking shots at Julie Letlow.
Yeah.
856 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. I got 3 minutes to break down everything that I just sampled, and I don't know if I could do it in time. We got the guys in for Bally's Casino with us. Got to sample a lot. All right, I'm going to do this in order here. First of all, tried in the roast beef po' boy.
Yes, sir.
Y'all go sliced and not debris, which different vibe right there. But you do rock with the Leidenheimer bread. That is everything when it comes to a roast beef po' boy. Did notice a little bit of mushroom in the gravy right there.
There is a little bit of mushroom in the gravy, cooks it down. So it's a real New Orleans po' boy.
And it's just when it comes to flavor and texture, adding a little bit of mushroom to the gravy right there. It's a good little clincher. The boudin ball. Okay, there's a little bit of spice on the front end, but it's just a little bit. What I look for in a boudin ball is the proper like meat to rice ratio. Some people like completely outrice their boudin ball. It's like, what is this, an arancini? No, it's a boudin ball. Y'all are actually on the other end of the spectrum, meat heavy on the boudin, which is awesome. And oh, by the way, it's a little bit of spice on the front end. And interestingly enough, they pick up like a heavier black pepper on the back end. And then the batter, not heavy. It's not going to weigh you down.
Yeah.
Which it was really, really awesome. Now, on to the main event here, and that is the Bally's Burger. You completely undersold it on the way into break right there. Because first of all, there's two patties there. Secondly, the attention to detail with the bread and butter pickles instead of dill pickles, that changes the whole palette of the whole thing. As you're, when you bite into a burger, you want the celebration of everything that's on the burger. Burger's got to rule the day. Meat's got to rule the day, and it does. But when you had a bread and butter pickle and then like the red onion that goes along with it, they pair so perfectly. The Bally's Burger that's the biggest recommendation of the whole thing. Y'all knocked out of the park on all three fronts. Awesome
Wonderful
stuff. This is all available over at Bally's right now. All through Super Bowl weekend, all through Mardi Gras. They're like we talked about in our last segment. There's going to be different contests, different promotions going on. You want to take advantage of them, and of course, take advantage of everything throughout the Mardi Gras holiday. Do you know if there's still rooms left open, or y'all sold out?
We still have a few. So I know this weekend's really, really busy for us. The next weekend, we still have some. So look, we have the beautiful thing about people still getting to know us, and the awareness there is there's some days where we got some availability out. We want everybody to come out and experience it. So please go online to our website at Bally's Baton Rouge. Book a room with us. Come check it out. You're going to love it. We know you will.
Sign up for the membership. So you can do Absolutely. That on the website as well, right?
The membership, you come in and sign up at the counter, and that gives them an opportunity to tell you about all the new member promos as well. So a lot of great stuff coming your way. You sign up for a card.
So one of the things I learned very early on is like, even if you're not like a every week type of person, sign up.
Absolutely.
It doesn't
cost you.
You're right.
Yeah.
It costs you nothing to get on board. Guys, thank y'all so much for stopping in today. Greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to actually just really, really happy that you're now open and all of downtown has that connectivity. So thank you so much.
We are too, definitely.
Thank you for having us.
We're all done for today. Moon Griffon is up next. We'll be back at it tomorrow.
Awesome.
All right, Facebook. I've got like back-to-back meetings, so I am going to bounce. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Actually, one of the meetings I'm about to have is
Yeah.
something else I need to collab with you all about.
Okay.